American Late Model Series here to do battle as well, and what'll be a final tune-up before these same drivers, many of them anyway, hit the high banks of the Eldora Speedway once again Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the World 100. Josh Overhalser here with you. Rob Goodman joins me, and we'll be joined by Michael Despain later on here also with the Ironman American Late Model Series as they hit the track. And Rob, boy, I know you and I both made our laps down through that infield. There are a lot of drivers. There are many familiar faces. There are a few unfamiliar faces here for the first time. Some of them here for the first time in a while. And my goodness, it's been a long time since we've seen a field, maybe never that we've seen a field this stout for the Baltes Classic.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe at last check, 52 UMP modifieds check in here. I believe 32 super stocks, 65 super late models, and they almost ran out of places to park the race cars here at Eldora, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah, it's going to be intense. Going to be a fun night of racing. We thank Coors Light. We thank FloRacing, those of you watching at home on that later on this evening. Again, we will get cars on track here in just a few moments to get hot laps underway. We'll have timed hot laps for all three series, so no separate qualifying. Timed hot laps for the late models, followed by the mods, followed by the stocks. Then we'll roll right into pre-race ceremonies here quickly, and then heat races, of course, with these car counts. We know we'll have at least a few B mains and double features tonight also for those late models, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, as you mentioned, this is officially the kickoff for the World 100 here. Guys looking for some track time, so Eldora Speedway opted to go with two features, which means twice as nice, and that's a great benefit not only for our drivers but our race fans here at the Big E as they get double features. And, of course, the modifieds and super stocks. A little bit different tonight. We've seen them come out in kind of group time trial, but this will be by the heat. So the first cars we'll see will be heat number one, so on and so forth. So just doing that as the massive car count, try to keep the program moving here tonight. And I tell you what, Mother Nature got the order right for the second time in a row. If you were here for Family Fireworks Night presented by Casey's earlier in the month, beautiful weather, and I got to say, it's Chamber of Commerce weather here on a Sunday night.
Yeah, going to be a great night for racing. Until we do get those cars on the track, you're looking for something to do. Don't forget, we got those 50/50 tickets on sale. Winner's share, you can view that at the bottom of the big screen over in turn number 2, currently sitting at $1,020. Again, that's the winner's share. That is not the overall pot. That's how much you take home, and that'll, of course, climb throughout the night. So, again, you can go to Eldora 50/50 on your phone and purchase tickets right from your seat, or we have numerous vendors set up throughout the grounds here at Eldora Speedway where you can buy them in person from those folks as well. As you're up and about, of course, we got the concession stand open. We've got souvenir vendors. We've got the Eldora Speedway bar, and Ted and the guys there can whip you up something nice. I can't make you up mixed drinks tonight. It is a Sunday, so we're beer only tonight. No liquor, but still some of those great $3 beers you can get you here this evening at the Eldora Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget merchandise available here. I believe you can pick up your World 100 T-shirts this evening as well. So lots of great merch. I believe drivers got some merch up towards turn number 1. So great evening here. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Just a few minutes away, as we mentioned, 65 super late models on the grounds here tonight, the world's greatest dirt track for the Baltes Classic.
And good evening, race fans. God bless and welcome to the world's most famous dirt track, Eldora Speedway, the 17th Annual Baltes Classic presented by Coors Light. 65 Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series fueled by VP entries signed in for racing action this evening. And again, the groups split into Group A, Group B, and they will be using the timed hot lap format this evening. And we may have to spin the racing surface here just a little bit prior to getting official timed hot laps underway here for what will be heat race number 1 in Group A. And the car's on the racetrack, the 18C, currently 6th in Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series points. He is out of Wheelersburg, Ohio. That is Miles Cook the second. Miles Cook the second in the 18C. Also out in this group, the 11 machine picked up a preliminary night win at the Dream here back in June out of Crittenden, Kentucky. The 11 of Josh Rice in 11. The 157 out of Winfield, Tennessee. The Winfield Warrior, Mike Marler in 157. The 10 machine, he's out of Danville, Ohio. That is Nathan Loney in 10. And the 91, the current Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series points leader out of McClure, Ohio. That is Rusty Schlenk in 91. They're letting this first group spin this racing surface here a little bit. The caution lights still on. So no official timed practice laps as of yet. And I want to welcome all the viewers tuned in on FloRacing, wherever you're tuned in at. See, working through turn 1 and 2 right now, the 56, that is B.J. Gregory. He is out of Lyons, Ohio. B.J. Gregory out of Lyons, Ohio in that 56 machine. And while they are working on getting this racetrack ironed in real quick, want to thank our 2025 Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series sponsors and marketing partners, Valvoline Global Operations, VP Racing Fuels, Hoosier Racing Tire, Jailbreaker Brands, Stack Products, Dirt Car Racing, Excess Power Batteries, Todd Steel Buildings, FloRacing, DirtOnDirt.com, MD3, Conley River Terminal, Impact Race Gear, Algar Performance Parts, Algar Racing Shocks, Domination Race Cars, Swafford Signs, My Race Pass, Deathridge Racing Opticians, Wayne's Auto Repair, Slicker Graphics, First Line Industries, Jim and Nancy Viox, BlueStyle.com, Octane Custom Trailers, Chris Nash Racing, and Dirt Empire Magazine. And Scott Rogers, he is set up back there behind the main grandstand area somewhere here on the grounds. He's got a blue canopy. He is with Rounders Racing. He is the official souvenir vendor for the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series. He's got 2025 caps and T-shirts available, along with his brand of Rounders Racing souvenir apparel. You're on the grounds this evening. And he also has the latest copy, just came out last week, of the newest edition of the Dirt Empire magazine. He has the drivers in the first 5 or 6, I believe going to be 6 out here, that will take their timed hot laps here in just a moment. Want to thank Whitney McQuarrie with C&W Sales in Liberty, Kentucky. He is putting up a $500 Fast Time Award for the overall quick qualifier between the two groups here this evening. Whoever's fastest overall between or out of Group A, Group B, there'll only be one Fast Time Award, but the overall fast qualifier going to get $500 courtesy of Mr. Whitney McQuarrie at C&W Sales in Liberty, Kentucky. Thank you, Whitrock, for supporting Eldora Speedway and the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series. And Rob, while they finish things up right here, just a great field of cars in all divisions here this evening to pay tribute to the late Earl Baltes here for the 17th Annual Baltes Classic at Eldora Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of familiar faces, some new faces here tonight. Of course, guys shaking it down for the world. Some of our series regulars, some guys that are just weekend warriors, kind of a nice mix. We've got guys that have made trips from all over. We'll talk about them a little bit later. And first group here, we got some hitters in there in the 11 and the 157.
And we're fixing to see the Excess Power Batteries green flag and get timed hot laps officially underway. The 11 of Josh Rice, a control car that brings us to the green flag. And it will be green, white, checkered on these timed hot laps. So you gotta be on keel, ready to go the minute you roll on the racetrack, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see who stops the clock quickest here.
Swafford signs white flag in the air. And we'll be giving you the best of the 2 qualifying laps of the cars in each group. See the 157 of Mike Marler there had a 6th place finish in the Hillbilly 100 last night at Lernerville Speedway. And the VP Racing Fuels checkered flag coming down. Josh Rice, he will go a 17.378. Mike Marler 16.401. Nathan Loney 17.440. Rusty Schlenk 16.806. B.J. Gregory at 18.830 and Miles Cook at 17.807. So it looks like unofficially so far, the 157 of Mike Marler, he is fastest of this group of cars that will make up heat race number 1 of Group A here this evening. As we continue on with Slicker Graphics VP Racing Fuels Challenge O'Clock time trials here this evening with timed hot laps. Next car rolling out. Podium finisher last night with the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series at Butler Motor Speedway in Quincy, Michigan. In the 4, that is Ionia, Michigan native Travis Stemler. Travis Stemler, he is in 4. In the 20 machine, has had a pair of top 5s with the series this weekend. He comes to you out of Zanesville, Ohio. That is Todd Brennan. Todd Brennan in the number 20. Also rolling out in this group, beautiful decal and wrap scheme, throw back to one of his open wheel modifieds. Last night's Hillbilly 100 winner at Lernerville, the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. And the final 2 cars set to go in this group, the 13 out of Orcutt, California, Dylan Thornton, and the 22F machine of Morenci, Michigan's Nick Fenner. Is the excess power batteries green flag out. And again, Rob, when you're green-white checkered here, no room for error.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what RTJ, who picked up that big win last night, see what he can lay down. How about Dylan Thornton making the long trip from Deer Creek, where he's been the last 2 nights, the reigning IMCA Super Nationals champion for IMCA Late Models and Modifieds here. Good to see what he can do. RTJ looks like 2nd quick. RTJ lap 2. Let's see what he can do.
And what kind of times we got out of these 5 right here?
Ooh. Shocked me. Slower for RTJ.
Travis Stemler.
Ooh, Todd Brennan lays down right there at the end. 16.200, I believe, jumps up to the 2nd spot. RTJ will go 3rd quick, 16.295. Dylan Thornton, 4th quick in the 13, 16.578. Travis Stemler, 16.776. Good enough for 5th quick there. Looks like Nick Finner in the 22F, 17.934. So Group 1, Heat 1 is going to be Mike Marler quickest with Brennan 2nd. So that was a good lap there by the 20.
I believe Todd Brennan's going to be quickest. He's 16.200. Mike Marler 16.401.
Let's see if we can get this to refresh.
As we get set to roll out what will be heat race number 2 here in Group A for you this evening. Going to be led out by the driver currently 2nd in Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series points. They have been thrashing all day. Broke the harmonic balancer off the front of the engine last night at Butler Motor Speedway. Had another motor brought, and don't know if they ended up changing motors or not. I talked to Colton Burdett and his crew earlier. They had taken everything off the front of the motor that was delivered this morning and put it on the front of the engine that is in the race car. So the 53C of Parkersburg, West Virginia's Colton Burdett out in this group. The Randall Chupp throwback for the young man in the 114 out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, Jordan Kohler. Jordan Kohler in the 114. The 111 of Sylvester, Georgia, Stephen Roberts. Stephen Roberts in 111. In the 11 machine, one of a couple of young ladies in the field. She's out of Lancaster, South Carolina. That is Rachel Snyder in that 11 machine. And in the 27 machine, the 27W, that is Eric Wilson. He is out of Cortland, Ohio. And looks like we're going to slip one more out into this group.
I believe that might be Corey Hedgecock sneaking out, the 23 machine.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you what, you and I have been around here for a little bit. It always makes the heart happy when you see the throwback stuff. The 114 car, that might be the prettiest car here for tonight, and then we'll see if anybody can top that when it comes to the wraps for the World 100. But boy, that is one sharp hot rod.
And if you were a Randall Chubb fan from back in the day, that's definitely pretty much a spot-on deal as they get ready to wind them up here. This will set the starting field for qualifying heat race number 2 out of group number A. And the excess power batteries green flag goes down on the 114 machine of Jordan Kohler. As we'll see, I'm sure the racetrack probably going to pick up speed here as we go along. It's Corey Hitchcock in that 23V machine. Swafford signs white flag going down, and we'll start to get some times. Again, be giving you the quickest of their 2 laps. Yes, Kohler works off of turn number 4 here down Main Street at Eldora Speedway. And Kohler's best lap going to be a 16.021, 16.021. Stephen Roberts will go a 16.277. Colton Burdett, 15.910. And Rachel Snyder, 17.118. Eric Wilson, a 16.622. Corey Hedgecock, going to be quick time so far here in what will be heat race number 2 of Group A at 15.707. Led the first half of the Southern All-Stars race last night down at Volunteer Speedway in Bulls Gap, Tennessee. And had a few issues and ended up backing up there in the final finish. As the remaining cars getting set to roll out, they will make up the drivers that will complete heat race number 2 here in Group A for you this evening. And they're going to be led out by the driver of the C4. He is out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. It's fast Freddie Carpenter working down the back straightaway there. And right behind him, that will be the 17SR of Dade City, Florida's Brody Smith. Brody Smith in the 17SR. In the 6 machine, the Hatcher Motorsports ride, he is out of Salvisa, Kentucky. In the 6, it's the wild child, Michael Chilton. Michael Chilton in the number 6. The 76, multi-time dream and world winner here at Eldora Speedway. Out of Evans, Georgia, Brandon Overton. Brandon Overton in 76. And the final car out in this group, he pilots the number 1 machine. Comes to you out of Bloomington, Indiana, former Eldora Speedway track champion. It is K-Rob Kent Robinson in the center of turn 3 and 4 here. This will complete timed hot laps for the cars that will make up qualifying heat race number 2 in Group A here this evening. And again, Corey Hedgecock at 15.707, the fastest of the cars in this group so far. Jordan Kohler second at 15.872. Colton Burdett third at 15.910. The top 3 here at the moment as they are getting set to get the command to come to green from Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series race director Chris Tilley. Looks like the C4 of Freddie Carpenter will be our control car and bring us to the excess power batteries green flag as they get ready to smash out loud pedal. And Freddie Carpenter will bring them off turn number 4 to the excess power batteries green flag. And we are underway. Rob, one thing this timed hot lap deal does, it could make for some very interesting qualifying heat race lineups here as we get later on into the evening here within Group A and Group B.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting with the guys. A lot of experience around here at Eldora may pay off. It's basically just 2 laps around here. Kind of old school feel to line up to go for your heat race. Of course, Fast Freddy picked up the big modified win, his first win here at the Big E earlier in the month in the Family Fireworks presented by Casey. And, of course, Kent Robinson, one of the, I believe, 2 drivers in the field tonight. He's a 2-time Baltes Classic winner here at Eldora in the Stapleton number 1.
And as the checkered flag going down here, we get people finished up. It's like Freddie Carpenter is going to go a 16.258. Brody Smith, 16.346. Michael Chilton, 15.882. Brandon Overton, 15.810. And Kent Robinson at 15.878. So that will take care of the cars that would be in qualifying heat 2. Now we will roll out the cars that will make up the 3rd and final heat out of Group A. And going to be led out by everybody's favorite Uncle T, Turbo Tyler Erb, the New Waverly, Texas native, now residing in St. Mary's, Ohio. Right behind him, the young man in the 14 junior. He is out of St. Augustine, Florida. That is Trey Mills. Trey Mills in 14. The 95, a former track champion here at Eldora Speedway, the 1999 American Late Model Series champion. He is out of Wapakoneta, Ohio, the Jedi, Jerry Bowersock in the number 95. The 57 machine, one of the up-and-coming young guns of dirt late model racing here in the Buckeye State of Ohio. That is Caden Black. Caden Black in 57 out of New Concord, Ohio. Another former Eldora track champion in that Rick DeLong number 3. He is out of White House, Ohio. That is Matt Miller. Matt Miller in the number 3. And the final car out in this group, the other young lady in the field in the number 8 out of Lexington, Kentucky. That is Megan Sanders. Megan Sanders in the number 8. Is we'll be looking for the Swafford Signs white flag, and Turbo Tyler Erb are going to get it right there. And the rest of the car see that Swafford Signs white flag. They will work them down here off of turn number 4, and Tyler Erb will see that VP Racing Fuels checkered flag, his best lap. I know his best lap, I believe, was a 16:001. That's unofficial there. Looks like Matt Miller, he's going to go a 15, I believe, 6:62. Caden Black, 15:738. Caden Black, 15:738. Trey Mills, 16:019. Jerry Bowersock, 16:170. And Megan Sanders will go a 17:308.
And Uncle T there at the line, 15:524, lays down a big lap there in his machine, so not surprising.
In 15:524, looks like that's going to be the mark to beat for the first set of cars here in Group A. One more group of drivers getting set to roll out. See the 31 out of Kingston, Georgia. That is going to be Tyler Millwood. Tyler Millwood in the 31. Directly behind him, we'll have the 26 of Sheridan, Michigan's Dylan Cohn. Dylan Cohn in 26. The one in, always a top runner here at Eldora Speedway out of and looks like the 31 of Tyler Millwood out of Kingston, Georgia, who competed, I believe he was perfect attendance with the Dirt Car Summer Nationals during the 2025 Summer Nationals campaign. Brings us to the Excess Power Batteries green flag. And we are underway with the final group of cars that will time in here in what will be heat race number 3 of Group A here this evening with the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series for the 17th Annual Baltes Classic here at Eldora Speedway. And checker flag coming down. Millwood going to go a 15.975. 15.975. The 26 of Cone will be a 17.219. Looks like the one in of Noonan, 16.456. The 75 of Toma Johnson.
He's going to go 17.942, 11th quick.
And the 16 of Steve Sabo, 17.766. As we get set to roll now with the cars that will be in Group B. Group B drivers getting set to roll out right here. This will be the cars that will be in qualifying heat race number 1 of Group B. And again, with the AB group format, everybody qualifying within their group. They'll heat race within their group, be main within their group, if you will, and set the starting lineups for 2 25-lap, $5,000 to win feature events here this evening. 48 different drivers going to get to make feature race laps here at Eldora Speedway. See the 63 of Holland, Ohio's Terry Rushlow, the 17 SS Dade City, Florida's Brendan Smith out in this group. Along with the T1 out of Penton, Alabama, that is Todd Morrow. Todd Morrow, the 114K, that will be Evan Kohler out of Mount Airy, North Carolina. And the 13W, he's out of Nicholasville, Kentucky, the Giant Killer David Webb. He has this group of drivers underway with their timed hot lap session. And also out in this group, the 18 machine, that will be Chase Berta. Chase Berta in the number 18, the Michigan driver, Lapeer, Michigan.
Making his Eldora debut.
They raced with us earlier this year up at Crystal Motor Speedway in Crystal, Michigan. Checkered flag going down. And Rushlow going to be a 16.277. The 17 SS will be top of the board. No, he's going to be second quick. 15.938. The 114K of Evan Kohler will go 15.737. David Webb, 16.151. And the 18 of Chase Berta. Very respectable first laps here at Eldora Speedway, 15.947.
Don't sleep on Chase Bird, a very talented race car driver, a little bit of a throwback, very competitive in the pavement, super late models, regular up at Berlin and Owasso as well, a CRA champion, and getting his first look at it, and that kid's got some talent. Let's see what he can do here at his Eldora debut. Looks like session number 2 for Group B, now rolling out on the racetrack.
And this will be the remainder of what will be heat race number 1 for you this evening. The 8 machine, currently 5th in Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series points out of Swanton, Ohio. Rob Anderzak in the number 8, the 29. 4th in series points coming into tonight's action out of Pataskala, Ohio. Clint Keenan, the 99 junior. He's out of Frankfort, Illinois. That is Frank Heckennash Jr., the 20 TEC regular with the World of Outlaw Great American Beer Late Model Series out of Richmond, Indiana, Tristan Chamberlain. And the final car out in this group in the number 94 out of Spring Lake, Michigan, that will be Bill Bray. Bill Bray in the number 94.
So Clint Keenan right now dips down, not for long, as young Chamberlain doing double duty tonight, 15.369. Frankie Jr. goes 15.469. That's second quick. Clint Keenan third quick right now to 15.588. Lap number 2, 15.369 for that 20 TC. Looks like Bill Bray going to finish 11th at a 16.257. So some good cars there. And to wrap up Session B, heat number 1. And once again, just kind of elaborate with the split field. Group A is married with each other all night long. So Group A is just going to be Group A. Group B will be married with each other. So we'll see those guys just kind of, and gals, stick with each other all night. But how about Chamberlain doing double duty tonight? Lays down a big lap, that 15.369. Here we go, session number 1 here for Heat 2.
And going to be led out by the young man in the 14C out of Savannah, Georgia. And that is Hayden Cowan. Hayden Cowan in the number 14. Next car out behind him, only about his 3rd or 4th time super late model racing this year. Been doing a lot of USMTS Open Wheel Modified competition for the driver out of Mooresville, North Carolina, the high side tickler Kyle Strickler in the number 8 machine, the 71R, currently 3rd in Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series points. He is out of Wheelersburg, Ohio, the hot rod Rod Conley. Also out in this group, the 40B out of Brandon, Florida. It is Kyle Bronson. Kyle Bronson in the 40B. And the final 2 drivers in this group work it off turn number 4. See the 20 of the Newport Nightmare, Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee, current Hunt the Front Dirt Late Model Series points leader, along with the 22, the young man that's been had a great season, regular competition at Shady Hill Speedway up in Madeiraville, Indiana this season, the 22 of Jace Owens. Jace Owens in that number 22 machine out of Monticello, Indiana. And checkered flag waving. What do we got times?
Looks like Bronson at 15.481 in the 40B. Strickler goes 15.524. So keep clicking off. Now Jimmy Owens, second quick, 15.523. Hayden Cowan, the Georgia racer, goes 15.728. That'll be unofficially 4th. The veteran, Rod Conley, in the 71, 15.870. And Jace Owens in the 22. We saw him here at the Dirt Track World Champion in Steel Block competition, 17.157. in the double deuce here. Here comes Group 2 for Heat 2. That 26 first car rolling out, Spanky. That thing is a good-looking hot rod.
Absolutely. The 26K of Rogersville, Tennessee's Cade Loudy. And that's a throwback scheme. Cade has put that scheme on his race car. A tribute to his grandfather, Steve Bowley. So Cade Loudy with the tribute on that good-looking 26 machine here this evening, coming down Main Street right there at Eldora Speedway. He is going to be joined by the 5 of Ionia, Michigan's Bryant Dickinson. The 388, he is out of Ocala, Florida. Jackson Heights, the 96 of Benton, Kentucky's Tanner English. And the 99J of Donnie Jeske out of Dayton, Ohio. Of course, Cade Loudy, the 2025 Schaefer's Oil Southern Nationals Series champion for 2025 in the 26 here this evening. And Swofford signs white flag waving. And we will be looking for the VP Racing Fuels checkered flag coming up right here. And it looks like it's going to fall on the 99 of Donnie Jeske.
Tanner English goes to the top of the charts, 15.300. And the young man from Ocala right now, Jackson Heights, will go second, 15.466. So the Eldora Speedway picking up here. No doubt about it. Looks like the 26K Loudy will go 8th quick, 15.918. Longtime Eldora veteran Bryant Dickinson in the 5-car 9th, 16.981. Donnie Jeske, I believe, will go 10th overall. But how about it? That's a good lap for the driver of the 96, and he's quietly put together a pretty solid 2025. Dare I say, might be a sleeper headed into this week.
Absolutely. The young man really picked his program up probably about the middle of July, right prior to the Prairie Dirt Classic there at Fairbury, and got a series win at Highland Speedway with the World of Outlaw Great American Beer Late Model Series back in August. As this is the first group of cars that will make up qualifying heat race number 3, the S21, currently top 10 in Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series points. First race back after suffering a broken hand back in July. That is Jackson, Ohio, Seth Daniels in that S21 machine. Joining him out there in the W1 machine, that is Great Lakes, Ohio's Corey Workman in the 32. That'll be Chad Stapleton out of Edinburgh, Indiana. The P3 machine, he is out of Defiance, Ohio, Jeff Robertson. And the final car out in this group, the 87 of Rich Nizer out of Fruitport, Michigan. As the VP Racing Fuels checker flag going down. And what kind of times are we looking at?
Right now, it's going to be Seth Daniels at 15.869 showing the way. Corey Workman, 15.901. Total chaos. Chad Stapleton, welcome back to Eldora, 16.118. Richard Nicer, a veteran, 16.959 from the Muskegon area. Jeff Robertson, longtime campaigner, the P3, 18.505. So some guys making their return. Good to see. Anytime Total Chaos is in the house, you'll get your money's worth out of him.
It's always excitement in and out of the race car with Total Chaos, that's for sure. Dirt Car Modified. Timed hot laps coming up next, as this is the final group of 5 that will contest for starting spots in the qualifying heat race number 3 of Group B here this evening. And the first car out there over in the turn 3 and 4 area, the 21N of Vestaburg, Michigan's Logan Nickerson. Logan Nickerson in the 21N. The 5N, former Valvoline American Late Model Ironman North Series champion out of Batesville, Indiana. That is Dustin Nobby in the 5N machine. In the number 39, that will be Brandon Moore out of Bryan, Ohio. Bryan, Ohio's Brandon Moore in the 39. The 06 machine out of Chatham, Ontario, Canada is Jordan Van Hall. And the 29 of Franklin, North Carolina's Evan Harrell. And I believe that's this young man's first ever Eldora Speedway appearance here. No, they are pre-entered, going to run the World 100 this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here at Eldora Speedway. He has the Swofford signs white flag in the air. And we'll be finishing up timed hot laps. Slicker Graphics VP Racing Fuels Challenge o'clock Timed hot laps here this evening. Checker flags down. What do we got, Rob?
Looks like that Nobby, the 5 in right now, third quick, 15.942. 39, Brandon Moore, 16.070. We'll put him unofficially in that 5th spot. Young Nickerson looks like the 21, second generation racer, 16.153. Evan Harrell, 7th, 16.141. The Canadian Jordan Van Hall, the 16.716. So that will bring to a close qualifying. Somebody just made $500 for about 16 seconds worth of work.
Exactly, and as soon as we get official word on that, we will pass it along to you. And again, I want to thank the Whitrock Whitney McQuarrie with C&W Sales in Liberty, Kentucky, for providing that overall fast time award between the groups here this evening. And Dirt Car Modifieds coming up next.
Yeah, absolutely. He used to wheel the 5M back in the day, correct? All right, that's what I thought. Big shout out to him for helping out. Just like that, the Mod Squad rolling out. This will be group number 1, heat number 1, and oh boy, we got some modifieds here tonight. Josh, getting ready to tag in. 13 drivers will be group 1, heat number 1. We'll take a looky-loo at some of the guys scheduled to go here. The driver in the 21, a familiar face out of New Bremen, Ohio. That'll be Drew Charleston. He'll be out on the Speedway. So many new faces here tonight, Josh, and that's good to see. How about the guy in the 28B?
Check. There we go. Yes, a stout field, no doubt of modifieds. Again, you talked about it. 51 of them, I believe, checked in, and those out there, 28B, you mentioned, that's Jason Brookover out of Washington, West Virginia.
As we get them stopped here, taking a look here at some of the other drivers. Dylan Nussbaum out of Warsaw in the 17N. Good old Catfish, Scotty Williams out of Eaton, Ohio in the B4. The 10Y out of Crofton, Kentucky, making his way down the front straightaway. That'll be Trent Young, making his Eldora debut. The driver out of Crawfordsville, Indiana, the 64. That's Bryce Scheidler.
Down the back straightaway, yep. Ryan Sutter out of Coldwater, Ohio, the Milkman in car number 18. Also out there, Shannon Fisk of Lowell, Michigan in the 60 machine.
Mason Lobb out of Shrewsbury, New York in the black 28, I believe, making his Eldora debut.
Greg Bellier coming down from Canada, Sterling, Ontario out there in the 25. And I believe we mentioned the 21C, Drew Charleston out of New Bremen, Ohio. So again, those are the drivers here in Group 1. They will qualify in the groups that will set their heats.
Also out there, the 12, Joe Buzzkirk out of Banbridge, Ohio. The reason they stopped, because we've got to get the modifieds who, for the most part, are all pitted up to the top side, down to the infield. The Milkman was a little, I give him a pass. He was a little tardy. It's one of the last cars in there. Of course, they were racing the last 2 nights, the Montpelier Motor Speedway, as he is now the proprietor and promoter.
And as you can see, bringing that whole group, their paws here to get all the modifieds down onto the Speedway. With 147, I believe, total cars checked in across all 3 divisions. Gets a little crowded, so of course we cannot fit all of them in the infield. Many of them, especially stocks and mods, up in what we call the upper pit behind turns 3. And those modified drivers making their way. And there's another driver that'll be in this group, Mark Anderson in the 43A.
Saw Mark here early in the month. So once again, getting them crossed over. This will be Heat 1, so the way they qualify, I'll set them up for their heats. The inversion is 4, and then after that, kind of the normal format. We'll redraw from the heats here tonight for the first few rows, but a busy night. Thank you so much for joining us, race fans. Kicking off the World 100 week here with the Baltes Classic.
Unbelievable field of modifieds here. Of course, for both the stocks and mods, they do race for track championships here. Relatively short season. Unfortunately, the opener getting rained down, making it even shorter yet. But it's tonight, and it's Dirt Track World Championship night, and then that is it to set our champions in the stocks and the modified. So with only a couple races left, a lot on the line. Yes.
I believe the Jedi up top and the modifieds by maybe 1-3 points, something like that. It's...
Yeah, Bowersock, your point leader there. I believe it's Gary Ray Jr. on front for the stocks ahead of Nick Bowers. Yes, so again, we'll keep our eye on that as the evening progresses once we do get into feature action. There you can see the last handful of cars making their way over. Zachary Hawk, I believe, last to come in. Hoping not to come last in the racetrack tonight, but last to cross there at the back gate. And then again, we'll get group number 1 here rolling. These will be timed hot laps, just like we saw. Oh, a few more. There's David Stremme.
Yeah, somebody's late to the party. There's always, I say there's always one, but in this case, there'll be 2. Looks like Tanner English picked up the $500 for being the quickest qualifier for the super late models. So congratulations to him.
Open the gate back up. Here will come Mr. Stremme and one more driver. So again, timed hot laps. We'll use these for practice and to also set the lineups for our heat races. One more driver back there waiting to cross. We'll get there. We'll roll through these modifieds, then we'll get into the super stocks. Unofficially, I believe 31 stocks signed in, so we'll have 4 different groups for hot laps for them. There you see the milkman on your screen at home on FloRacing, Ryan Sutter. A regular here at the Eldora Speedway. Rob mentioned also adding promoter to his checklist here.
And ownership, I believe.
And ownership,
yes,
this year.
So great job for him over there at the Montpelier Motor Speedway. Of course, the winner, they had a 2-day event. Both of their winners here tonight. Dylan Woodley picking up the win last night. Talked to his dad, a former late model track champion. Asked him if they got paid by cows or cash, and he said it was cash at the end of the night. So,
but with beef prices, getting paid with cows would not be a bad idea right now.
No, I mean that's it's going to maybe put that in somebody's ear for like the cow shootout at the end of the year.
So we'll slowly but surely get them wound up here and get them set to turn loose again. Timed hot laps for the modifieds group 1 of 4. 4.
Yeah, we got Nate Hutchinson out there in the 52 as well. So a little bit different for these guys. We've done some group time trials here with usually 4 to 6 cars. This is the whole heat. This is the whole shebang. A lot of these guys are somewhat familiar with this kind of setup over back of the day at Gas City, Kokomo Speedway, Montpelier there. So the key on this is to get yourself kind of spread out a little bit, to give yourself room to operate. Don't get yourself stacked up and get yourself a good lap. So it'll be interesting to see. Usually, Josh, in this, we usually see the guys that are always fast find a way to get themselves where they need to be in the heat. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Single file for the most part. Getting bunched up a little bit in 3 and 4 as Anderson goes around the 28B machine. Nussbaum trying to work his way through some slower cars.
So as Josh mentioned, almost 150 cars here. A lot of cars, a lot of laps, so this kind of helps expedite the program here.
Charleston goes to the top, 17.355. And now Dylan Nussbaum bests him a 17.162.
So the 17 in, how about that? 17.162. Charleston second at the 17.355. New York racer Mason Lobb of the 28, good showing for him. Third, Mark Anderson, 43A fourth. Shannon Fisk, the waiting for data for sixth. Bryce Scheidler seventh. Greg Bellier eighth. Trent Young, Scotty William, Joseph Buskirk, Jason Brookover, and Nate Hutchinson.
I believe waiting for data will be Ryan Sutter.
Yeah, well, that'll make the milkman happy, so that'll give him a pretty good starting spot unofficially. Six. Oh, yeah, he's up there. You cheated. It was up on the board.
I cheated. I looked at the big board.
I thought maybe. All right.
Yeah, but FloRacing has it right for those at home there. Look at your monitor, Rob. Here we go. Next group out there on the Speedway. Here's how they will roll out. Looks like Jason Holland going to be the first one out there on the track, the 3H out of Middletown, Ohio. Behind him, a veteran driver here at the Eldora Speedway. And your current point leader in the 5X is going to be Jerry Bowersock out of Wapakoneta, Ohio. Four machine is going to be Jackson Center's Jason Kinney. Also out there, the 11, Adam Colley of Minford, Ohio.
Brad Hess from right here in Rossburg. We know where he's from in the 10 car. T-Bone Tony Anderson from Lima, Ohio, the 22, doing double duty. Another double duty racer making his debut in the modified here. That's Tristan Chamberlain out of Richmond, and that's 72. Scotty Orr out of Columbia City in the 88. Also with him, another driver, no stranger to the mods here in the 7 out of Apollo, Pennsylvania, Evan Taylor.
Brother Jonathan out there in the 5 also. Salzburg, Pennsylvania, his hometown.
Braden Berry out in the 75 out of West Portsmouth, Ohio. Jeff Cause out of Lima in the 16. Young Tyler Spalding out of Hartford, Michigan in the 1, making his Eldora debut.
And I believe we got him.
Yeah, look at that. We didn't even have to look at the race monitor.
Not too bad.
Not bad.
Here we go. We'll get them wound up. Group number 2. These are the cars in heat number 2. Not qualifying against any of the cars we previously saw or coming up. Just against themselves to set the heat race number 2's lineup.
So Group 1, they get a thumbs up. Everybody minded their P's and Q's, did well. So far, so good here, Group number 2.
There you see Jonathan Taylor on your screen. He's been a fast driver here at the Eldora Speedway over the past few years. Multi-time former track champion, including most recently in 2024. Got 7 wins in the modified here at Eldora Speedway. One more time around. Speaking of the Taylor brothers, they're right up there on that speed chart.
No surprise.
Jason Holland looks to be the fastest car thus far. There you see him on your screen, a 17.655. See if they can hang on. No, Jonathan Taylor will go to the top. 17.422. Spalding up there, the young driver. First time on the track here. Again, most likely not the first time here with Dad Kurt running, but first time he's been in the driver's seat. And a good lap for him. Second quick.
Jeff Cos, 3rd quick in the 16. Jason Holland, 4th quick unofficially. Braden Berry, 5th. Evan Taylor, 6th. Scott Orr, 7th. Jerry Bowersox, 8th. Tristan Chamberlain, 9th. Jason Kinney, 10th. Josh Morton, 11th. Adam Coley in the 11. And Tony Anderson in the 22.
Those are drivers in Group 2. Get those last couple drivers off, and then we will get set to roll here with Group 3. 50-50, you see it, $2,584, the current winner's share. There we are, Rob. Wave to the folks at home. Our vantage point. We're a little spoiled, Rob. We get a pretty good seat to watch all the action here at the Eldora Speedway, high atop it here, right behind the flag stand.
Yep, absolutely. We enjoy what we do here. We're very thankful and blessed to be a part of the amazing staff here at the Eldora Speedway. And it takes so many people to make the racing possible here. As you mentioned, I got to tip my hat to everyone that just parked the rigs here this morning as they were lined up deep.
That was no easy task today.
Yeah. So
a little stressful.
Yep, everybody got them in there. So great job by all of our staff here as they do each and every event. Of course, things just kicking off here tonight. We'll be back in action with the prelims for the World 100 on Thursday and Friday at the world's greatest dirt track with the granddaddy of them all, the World 100. Group 3 getting ready to roll out onto the racetrack. Should be 13 in this one.
Mentioned that World 100. I know there's a good number of campers out here. I bet a lot of folks planning to make a nice little week out of this year with Labor Day tomorrow and spending the week here in good old Darke County.
I'm sure there will be some people that will enjoy the weather not being 1,000 degrees here for the next week.
No doubt.
Touch chilly, but you know what? That's fine. Nothing wrong with
You can always put more on. You can only take so much off.
Yes, campfires will be in big demand here this week at the Eldora Speedway. But, yes, looks like it's going to be absolutely great weather for the world. We'll get the crossover here. Once again, this will be group number 3. As we mentioned, all the great sponsors you see around Eldora, we're going to be very busy tonight, so any chance you get out to support any of our great sponsors here at the track, thank you so much. Of course, Coors Light, our Baltes Classic, our salute to Earl and Bernice, and the entire Baltes family. You know, they have done so much. I was thinking on the way over here, first $1 million late model race, Eldora. First $1 million wing race, Eldora. Mopar Million, the $200,000 to win race for the non-wing cars, Eldora.
A lot of firsts right here in a cornfield in northern Darke County. Here we go. Next group out on the track. There you see the 757, Bradley Jameson out of Royal Center, Indiana. One car in front of him, Hollywood. Brian Gray out of Hamilton, Ohio. A regular here, but hasn't been here in a while. I believe it's his first trip this year. Yep. Correct, Rob?
First night out for Hollywood. Good to have him back. The 114, a regular here out of Yoder, Indiana. That's Clayton Bryan. Also another regular, originally out of Averill Park, New York. That'll be Daniel Sanchez in the 463. Oh, my. The 49 is in the house with the mod. Look out. Clark Lake, Michigan's Brian Ruhlman, and that is a brand new race cars, first new modified in 7 years.
He is always fun to watch here when he takes to the high banks of the Eldora Speedway. Bill Hager is in car 147. He's out of Richmond, Indiana. Behind him looks to be Warsaw, Indiana's Dylan Woodling in the 3W machine, also out there in this group. Let's see, that's going to be the 5 of Bobby Bagley out of Mineral Wells, West Virginia. The B4U, one of my favorite car numbers in all of motorsports. Brad Eitenauer out of Wauseon, Ohio. Let's see, a couple more here. 12M, John McClure out of Clarksville, Michigan.
Also out there, hammered out Doug Drown,
yes,
our Superstock champion, making his first visit in the modified, the 21D Weasel Flippo in the 52.
Out of Bradford, Ohio.
Yeah, the 188 out of Columbia City. That's Aaron Orr. I think we got them all here.
And here we go, winding them up again. 3rd out of 4 groups for the modifieds. After this, it's just the stocks. And then we move into pre-race ceremonies and racing action. Clayton Bryant, 17.786. Dylan Woodling now to the top. Well, you talked about a new race car for a man who has more modified wins here than anybody else. He's fast again tonight, Rob. That new car. He didn't need too much time to break that sucker in. 17.701. The Porpoise goes P1.
Bradley Jamison, good effort for him. 7:57 second quick. Clayton Bryant, 3rd in the 114. Dylan Woodling in 3W 4th. Aaron Orr in the 188 5th. 463. Daniel Sanchez 6th. Doug Drown in the 21 7th. Brad Eitenauer in the B4U 8th. Weasel Flippo in the 52 9th. John McClure the 12 and 10th. Bill Hager in the 147 11th. Brian Gray in the 12th, and Bob Bagley in the 5B 13th. 4th and final group getting ready to roll out here, Josh. Let's see what we got.
We are rolling. Jordan Stotts in the SN out of Pomeroy, Ohio. First car out there on the Speedway. Garrett Jamison of Royal Center, Indiana, also out there in the Zero machine. George Zeman is in the 87. He is out of Horton, Michigan.
Also joining out of Clayton, Indiana, his first visit, James Weintraut, regular with Lincoln Park Speedway in the 83. Familiar face here out of Botkins, Ohio. That's Dalton Lane in the 14. Another regular here at Eldora, the 78. Looking for a good night out of Wapakoneta. That's Andy Welch. I believe that's Brian Skaggs out of Pedro, Ohio in the 20. The first time we've seen him this year. Familiar, we talked about his son. That's Kurt Spalding in the 5CS out of Waterville, Michigan. The 0 threw me for a curve. That car won here last time, but a different shoe. Nevin Gainey, I believe, out of Fort White, Florida. I believe going to make his debut at the World 100 in the Kryptonite house car. Speaking of house car, Lethal Chassis, Mifflintown, PAs. David Strimmy in the 35.
Brad Goff in the 41 out of Zanesville, Ohio. Let's see, Zachary Hawk out of Rockford, Ohio in the 54, and I believe that should take care of them and catch them all here as Rick gets them wound up on the flag stand, gets set to turn them loose.
So final group for the dirt car, UMP Modifieds. This will be heat number 4. Keep an eye on some drivers. Should be quick in this one. Kurt Spalding, former winner here. Oh, hold on to it. Gainey hung there in the fence there.
Just a kiss.
Just a kiss. I mean, I got a hug from Fast Freddy, so maybe just a kiss.
There you go.
Appropriate for the driver of the house car here tonight.
How about that lap from Stremme? 17.318.
So the Lethal House Car, 17.316, quick as Josh. I got like a race monitor. It's Kurt D. Spalding.
There you go.
Second quick at a 17.405. Brian Skaggs Goes third quick, Brad Goff fourth, George Zeman, the Michigan racer fifth, Garrett Jameson in the 06, Andy Welch seventh, Jordan Stotts in the 8th, Zachary Hawk in the 54 ninth, Dalton Lane 10th, Nevin Gainey in the 11th, and James Weintraut in the 83. And tip of the hat to all the mod guys. They did a great job there, Josh. They ripped right through that like that was old hands there. So let's see what the Super Stocks can do. They'll do the same thing.
Yeah, 51 drivers and ripping right through it here. So appreciate everyone's as a driver and team standpoint, helping us keep this show moving. We're going to do our very best to get, again, nearly 150 cars through what will be 4 feature events here later on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Double 8 model shows, so that'll be fun. So 4 people will make their way down to the Baltes Classic victory lane here this evening. 50-50, 2,958 and growing. If you are at home and watching on Flow and you live in the state of Ohio, it's Eldora5050.com. You can log on and you can join in. I'm going to say last time we were here for Family Fireworks Fun Night, we got north of 15,000. Yep. I'm going to say we should be able to get somewhere about 7,500, 8,000. I think I'm going to call my shot here tonight for the 50-50. I mean, if it goes above that, nobody's going to be upset about it.
That's right.
But
we can try for 10, but we try to be realistic.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if I got $7,500 on a Sunday here at the Baltes Classic, I would be a happy camper.
Darn right.
So many pizza steaks.
Yeah, modifieds making their way out. Super stocks, you can see, lined up, getting set to come in. Unofficially, 31 signed in. So we will have 4 groups of the super stocks for timed hot laps, just like we saw with the mods. Same sort of format. Again, they'll qualify against the drivers in their group, not necessarily the rest of the drivers out there, to set starting lineups for their heat races. 31, again, unofficially signed in here, set to do battle. Nice field in the super stocks. We've had nice attendance in this class all season long, full fields and then some.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're tuned in at home or your first time here at Eldora Speedway and you're seeing the super stocks, don't sleep on them. A lot of times they absolutely steal the show here at the Big E. Typically it's a super stock Saturday night, but they'll do it on a Sunday night as well. That's right. Here we go. Group number 1. What do we got?
Trey Chastain, first car out on the track, car number 12 out of Bedford, Indiana. Behind him, we got a couple of 74s coming out of the Dipman household there. And this one's going to be John Martis piloting this one out of Toledo, Ohio. Also out there, the 33, P33 is Josh Robertson out of Defiance, Ohio. We got the 00 out there. That's Dean Pitts of Botkins, Ohio. The 55 machine is going to be Forrest Bennett out of Centerville, Indiana. And I believe waiting on a few more to make the crossover, get out and join this group.
Yeah, also looks like the Gambers. I know they were pitted up on the top side. The 4G, Justin Gamber out of Wauseon.
And Jacob Gamber also. Then Adam Lance, the other driver here out of Bryan, Ohio, in the 8L machine. Again, they'll join the field here once they finish that crossover and getting their way onto the racetrack.
So it is important to know that you have to go out with your group. So if you miss your group, that means you got to start at the caboose of the heat. So definitely don't want to be late to the party. I see the 8, the G15, and the 4. So good to see them. They should roll out onto the racetrack.
Weave their way around the group in front of them here. There you see some of those drivers in this group getting set to roll on the backstretch. Those being Trey Chastain and Forrest Bennett there.
We saw Trey at the Dirt Track World Championship. Of course, the Super Stocks will be a part of that big show on that Thursday night. They kind of headlined the night. They stole the show last year on that Thursday, so...
Sharp looking. I know it's right behind what we got on screen right now, that 55 machine. Sharp looking car. It's hard to keep a white car clean on a dirt track. It may not be that clean at the end of the night, but it is, there you see it. It is sharp looking right now.
Yeah, they always unload that thing looking like $1 million here at the Big E. Rick taking a looky-loo over the field. Ron Penrod up in race control. Uh-oh, somebody sounds like they're not happy underneath the hood. That might be the Robertson P33. We'll see if that thing clears out. But Rick's got the green flag in the air. And here we go. Group time trials heat race number 1 for the Super Stocks. And the P33, unfortunately, Josh will head down to pit road. So motor
did not sound up the full song, for sure.
Not happy, so he'll roll off 8th in the heat. like right now, maybe Dean Pitts.
Watkins, Ohio driver fastest, 19.411. Looks like a little slower that last time by. And no one going to catch him. So, yeah, Dean Pitts, nice lap, 19.411. Quick time thus far, followed by Martis, Bennett, and Gamber.
Also at
Justin Gamber, I should clarify.
Yep, 2 Gambers. The G15, Jacob, looks like will be 7th, and that will put Josh Robertson with no time 8th. So, good to see Dean Pitts laying down. Good lap there in the 00. Looking for a time for Trey Chastain in the 12. We'll get that figured out here at some point.
Nice look at those cars coming off the track, heading to our scale area. Dean Pitts' machine there up on the scales.
3,000 pounds for super stocks means green light. 2,999 is no bueno. So Group 2 will be heat race number 2. Should be 8 more, Josh.
Lined up there, you see Logan Huff in the 52 machine. Out of Wasion, Ohio. Behind him there, Jeremy Creech back in the 17 machine out of Richmond, Indiana. Believe that's Rob Trent to the inside of Logan Huff there you see on your screen. He's out of Lima, Ohio. Multi-time former track champion in that J2.
Be looking for Brad Insel. Brad picked up a new sponsor. Welker Vet Service, going to give them a shout out.
Tanner Hewer in the 88 machine out of Versailles, Ohio. He's the driver lined up to the inside of Creech there in the 17.
The mystery 99, we figured
it out.
That was. That's
Sean Valente.
Yeah, that's a shoe.
Fostoria, Ohio zone. Of course, he ran here a few years back sporting the 28V machine.
Duct tape numbers on all. Keep an eye on him. He's always quick here at the Big E. I believe Dan Dittman scheduled to go in the 07 out of Oregon, Ohio.
And let's see, Brad Ensel in the 6 out of Raymond, Ohio. Richard Drive, 62R out of Toledo, Ohio. And I believe that should cover them.
Yeah, it should be the 8 we're looking for. And just like that, they roll out onto the Eldora surface. I'm not saying that Rob Trent's the odd man out, but boy, I feel like black car heat too. If you had that on your bingo sheet, you're a big winner with this one. With fluorescent orange accents. That kind of makes you give you a little fever for your football team.
1 week from today.
That's right.
Be up in the Jeepo Dawand taking on the Cleveland Browns.
That one's up at the dog pound, right?
Yeah, the Jeepo Dawand. Have you seen that, Rob?
No.
The banners where they got the spelling wrong, and instead of saying welcome to the dog pound, the Browns fans forgot how to spell, and it said welcome to the Jeepo Dawand.
Ouch.
I'll show you a picture later. There might be a few people watching at home that get that reference. Yeah, it should be fun. Always fun football season. Are your Chicago Bears going to look any better this year, Rob? They should. They should.
Yeah, they should be competitive. So, got some hope. Got a new coach. Stole them from the Lions, so that worked out pretty good for us. So,
I think the Bengals, they can probably score 50 points a game as long as you don't give up 55. They'll be all right.
Yeah, they as we were talking off air a little bit, they were probably one of the best teams at the end of the season. So, see what they can do. Looks like the 12 got a transponder swap. So, track officials deeming that it was not on him, so he will be scored in this one. I'm going to say that his time will go for group number 1. That's unofficial until it becomes official.
So getting them wound up here. Second of 4 groups, just 2 more groups after this, and we've got preliminary action here in the books. We'll get pre-race ceremonies underway and right into heat race action here. There you see Rob Trent. Oh, little bobble there. Numerous track championships to his name in the Super Stocks here for the Lima, Ohio driver. One of those drivers that will typically double dip up at Lima Land Speedway on the Fridays and here at Eldora on Saturdays.
Yep, Lima the home for a lot of these guys on Friday nights throughout the season. Of course, we see a couple of them over at the Milkman's Montpelier Motor Speedway on Saturday night as well. And some guys They're just Big E's. That's all they pretty much will break the car out for. Nothing wrong with that. How about Jeremy Creech in the 17? 18.929 right now. No surprise, Sean Valenti. 19.432. Shaking that thing down. Didn't take long for get that to get up to speed. Logan Huff, 19.439. Third quick. Richard Reif, 19.909. Tanner Hewer in the 88, 19.953. Rob Trent, J2. He probably was looking for a little better time at 20.040. And the 07D Dan Dittman at 20.078.
And there you see the Valenti machine on your screen. It proves you don't need a fancy graphic to go fast.
Nope.
Blank car, duct tape 99, but hey, he's second quick.
All right, here we go. Group 3, Heat 3. Josh, rolling out. What do we got?
Well, we've got Nick Bowers out there in car number 25 out of Piqua, Ohio. There he pulls onto the track. Let's try to go actually in order how they're out here. That makes more sense, doesn't it? I was just reading off my sheet. We've got the 1W, Mark Wooten. He's out of Greenville, Ohio. He's coming by the flag stand here in front of us on the front stretch. Behind him, Justin Long out of Lima, Ohio. Car number 96. Gary Ray Jr. out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He pilots car number 95, a former track champion, making his way by the flag stand. John Smith, 28, out of West Milton, Ohio.
Picking up the win. Last time we were in action, that is Jordan Conover out of Forest, Ohio in the number 7. Newcomer Ross Black in the 28. That 556 out of Lyons, Ohio. That's Kurt Dickey. And the 08 returning action after some time away here at Eldora. That's a brand new race car. That's a good looking machine. That's Troy, Ohio's Todd Gross. And here we go. Nick Bowers, the 25, has been fast. Gary Ray's good. This might be the toughest heat of the night here for the Super Stock, Josh. There's some hitters in this one.
Yeah, Nick Bowers, 4 consecutive top 5 finishes. Second currently in the Eldora points in the Super Stocks.
Ross Black in the 28, huffing some smoke there. Keep an eye on that. We're down to Wooten. We only got one Wooten tonight.
That being Mark out of Greenville. Talked about how quick Bowers is. 19.284, fastest in this session thus far.
And Josh looks like he's going to hold serve with that.
Yeah, 19.242. Bowers, your quickest. Jordan Conover, second. 19.310. Sean Smith, third quick. Gary Ray Jr., fourth. Then Wooten, Dickey, and Gross round out the final 7 drivers here in this session.
So this will be the final group for group time trials here at the Eldora Speedway for the Baltes Classic presented by Coors Light.
74D, Craig Dittman out of Oregon, Ohio, the blue edition of the 74D. Of course, Mortis will be out there in a similarly graphicked white machine. 22T, one of those drivers double dipping. We've got a few double dipping with mods and late models. We got a couple double dipping with stocks and modifieds. And one of those being Tony Anderson out of Lima, Ohio, the 22T. 96 is going to be Donovan Paskin behind him. Behind him, I believe that's the 29C Chris Bitters out of Harrod, Ohio. 01 is going to be Ernie Woodard out of Georgetown, Kentucky. Always a fast driver here at the Big E. And then we've got Jeff Matheny out of Richmond, Indiana in the J1.
Returning back to his normal machine, I believe the 08. Todd Gross was supposed to be in this group, and I think he snuck out. So we'll see if his time will translate.
There he is.
Is he sending him back out? He was out there before.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So 7 cars, 6 are on the track, 7 scheduled to go.
This is the final group.
Is it?
Of hot laps. We'll move right into pre-race ceremonies here after this.
So Dittman, no stranger to victory lane here. Tony Anderson, always a threat, especially in the stocks. It's been a minute since Ernie Woodard's won, so we'll keep an eye on him in the 01. Looks like he's one of those guys that probably ready to make a return to victory lane here at the Eldora Speedway. So
He had a big streak of family fireworks night consecutive wins back in the late 20-teens. Yes, it has been a little while.
of course, Dittman, the defending winner of this event. Of course, Jeremy Creech picked it up in 23. Jeff Matheny back in 2019. Ernie picked up this race in 2016. So 2014, Nick Bauer. Some guy named Barney Craig, 2013.
He's still putting laps around. He's still leading at Eldora Speedway all the time.
Absolutely.
Pace truck driver.
I'll bet you if Barney jumped into a super stock, it would not take him long to get right back up to the front. So looks like Dittman's 18.793 going to be quickest in the group. Matheny's J1 18.924, 22T Tony Anderson. Looks like Ernie Wooder in the 01 will be third. Donovan Paskin in the 96, the 29C. Chris Bitters, and we'll see where the 08 of Todd Gross will shake in there. But that will bring to a close group time trials here at the Eldora Speedway. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Big E. Just a few minutes away from opening ceremonies. Josh could make his way down. So great job, everyone, getting through that. Josh going to head down here. And for those watching at home on Flow, we're going to step away for a commercial break. And for those in the house here as well, we'll pay some bills and we'll call you back in plenty of time for opening ceremonies for the Baltes Classic presented by Coors Lights here at the Big E.
I love the sound of someone getting their money's worth. I mean, where else are you going to get ahs like that for 89 cents? Only in Casey's country. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. For a limited time, get medium fountain drinks for just 89 cents.
If you're like me, you take pride in a great-looking lawn. And my pride begins with my ride, a Grasshopper mower. Whether you roll it off the trailer or out of the garage, you'll get the power to effortlessly tackle tough terrain, mow around obstacles, or cut through thick grass and overgrowth. You'll trim, vacuum, mulch, and more, all from a driver's seat that's as comfortable as your favorite pair of jeans. The exclusive Powerfold deck even makes cleanup and storage a snap. Whether you're a pro or just want to mow like one, make a Grasshopper mower your ride and your pride.
Tired of lugging around big bottles of liquid bleach? Now there's an easier way to whiten your laundry and freshen your home. Introducing Evolve Concentrated Bleach Tablets. Evolve makes bleaching easier than ever. Avoid the hassles of liquid bleach with a better, more versatile way of keeping your home fresh and clean. Evolving new concepts for cleaning. No spills, no splash, no mess. Choose Evolve Concentrated Bleach Tablets for all your bleaching needs.
Hey race fans, picture this, a tap house with 46 taps where you make all the choices, paying by the ounce as you try all of your favorites on our unique self-serve pouring wall. Sure Shot Tap House offers something for everyone, from crafts, ciders, and seltzers to old favorite domestics, bourbon, and wine. Oh, and let's not forget our awesome beer-inspired food menu. So race fans, while at Eldora, be sure to check out the Sure Shot Tap House. Online at SureShotTapHouse.com, just right down the road in Greenville.
Premier Health was first in the region. First emergency room, first ICU. We created the first ambulance in the air. We broke records. We made history. Our 110 years of experience were gained for this one split second.
We're gonna take you to Miami Valley Hospital, okay?
We were granted level 1 trauma verification, the highest level of care for critically injured and sick patients. We treat patients that other hospitals can't. We are the most experienced. Premier Health.
Hunt Brothers Pizza is proud to be the official pizza of Eldora Speedway. Fuel up with a hunk of pizza or a large 12-inch pizza loaded with all toppings, no extra charge. Pick original or thin crust, then add on any combo of our 10 delicious toppings. That's 1,024 ways to make it just the way you like. Head to the concession stands to get yours today. Want more? Download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app to find one of our 10,000 locations in convenience stores near you. Hunt Brothers Pizza, fuel for race day.
We like our girls in bikinis, like our coolers in the truck. Motorsports on TV, hard working for a buck. So raise them high, 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 testify, fi, fi. American Rebel is the only beer we're drinking round here. Hey y'all, this is Andy Ross, and it's my great pleasure to introduce you to America's patriotic beer. American Rebel is the only beer we're drinking round here.
Entrepreneurs have molded our communities, our country, and our world. That's why NK Telco is proud to announce our Innovation Fund to help entrepreneurs in our local counties start up, grow, or sustain their business. NK Telco will invest a total of $500,000 to help local entrepreneurs bring their dream one step closer to reality and to support growth and expand opportunities in the communities we service. To learn more about the Innovation Fund, visit nktelco.com.
Welcome back to Eldora Speedway, just a few minutes away from tonight's opening ceremonies. Just putting a touch of liquid love on the famed half mile here, the Eldora Pace trucks. As we line up heat race number 1. Great field of cars here if you're just tuning in, if you're just making your way in the ground 65. Late models on the proper. And you guys had a busy week. This is night number 3 for you as well.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We started the Labor Day weekend Friday night at Attica Raceway Park in Attica, Ohio. And great night of racing action there on Friday evening at Attica Raceway Park. And yeah, we've to say we've rode a few miles this weekend would be an understatement. But Kyle Moore picked up the victory at Attica Raceway Park there last night, or Friday night, excuse me, and then at Butler Motor Speedway in Quincy, Michigan on Saturday night. And Chad Finley became the 174th different winner in Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series history. Got his first career win. Took the lead from current series points leader Rusty Schlink with about 8 or 9 laps to go there at Butler last night, and proceeded to drive on to about a half-second victory there last night at Butler Motor Speedway.
Of course, wrapping it up here tonight at the Baltes Classic.
And we'll take off next weekend. Of course, the World 100 coming up here at Eldora Speedway Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, September 4, 5, and 6. And if you can't make it Eldora, of course, you can take in all the action here on FloRacing, wherever you may be at around this great country we live in, or around the world, if you will. Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series is going to return to action Friday night, September the 12th, and that will be down at Hidden Hollow Speedway in Colson, Kentucky. That event, the Coal Miners Classic, going to pay $7,500 to win. And then the annual Jim Dunn Memorial, Saturday night, September 13th, at the Moran Family's Muskingum County Speedway in Zanesville, Ohio. That event, $10,000 up for grabs in the winner of that one on Saturday, September the 13th.
Speaking of Jim Dunn, of course, he will be honored the Dirt Track World Championship coming up here to close out the season at the Eldora Speedway. Still plenty of tickets available for that and camping spots as well. So if you have not grabbed that, that's a great event. Of course, so we'll see all these divisions in action, plus the steel block late models will join the card for 4 division, as that's quickly turned into one of my favorite racing events of the week, or that week is 3 days. We'll call it close enough for some of my favorite events of the season. So closing out the Big E. Of course, DJ, Essex, and Mad Mike, and Randy Weaver all going to roll in here this weekend. So
exactly, always enjoy their broadcast, and thank them for all they do for the sport of dirt late model racing in general.
So it looks like just about ready to wrap up track prep here. I believe we got to get the 50-50 Singer down in the infield. And that's sometimes easier said than done. They got to work their way through the packed trucks. The racetrack is usually a touch slippery, so hopefully we get them down there in one piece.
I would like to take this opportunity once again to thank the 2025 Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series sponsors and marketing partners, and thank them for all they do for their support of the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series. Valvoline Global Operations, official oil of the series. VP Racing Fuels, the official fuel of the tour. Hoosier Racing Tire, the official tire of the tour. Jailbreaker Brands, the official potato chip of the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series. Stack Products, Dirt Car Racing, Excess Power Batteries. Todd Steel Buildings, they sponsor the Move of the Race Award. FloRacing, sponsor of the Rookie of the Year program with the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series. DirtOnDirt.com. MD3, sponsor the Hard Charger of the Race Award. Conley River Terminal, sponsor the Hard Luck Award. Impact Race Gear, Algar Performance Parts, Algar Racing Shocks, Domination Race Cars. Victory Lane sponsor Swafford Signs. Official graphics of the series, My Race Pass. They take care of the series website at www.imdirt.net. Deathridge Racing Opticians, they sponsor our 11th Place Middleman Award. Wayne's Auto Repair, they sponsor the Hot Pit area, Wayne's Auto Repair Work Area. Slicker Graphics, First Line Industries, Jim and Nancy Viox, LouStyle.com, Octane Custom Trailers, Chris Nash Racing, and Dirt Empire Magazine.
Well, my friend, it's just about that time to kick off racing here at the Baltes Classic at the Eldora Speedway. But before we can do that, I'm sending downstairs to Josh, and he will get us going with opening ceremonies. Josh, as always, my friend, it's a pleasure, and welcome to Eldora.
Thank you very much, Rob. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Eldora Speedway. Again, my name is Josh Overholster. On behalf of everyone here at the Eldora Speedway, it's my privilege to officially welcome you to the 17th running of the Baltes Classic, presented by Coors Light, as we pay tribute to Earl and Bernice Baltes. Folks, how about a hand for Earl and Bernice, right? None of us would be here at the Eldora Speedway taking in all this great racing if not for their vision all those years ago to 1954, take a cornfield and build this amazing racetrack. So again, we thank Earl and Bernice. We pay tribute to them all throughout the evening. Before we get the racing action underway, a few folks introduced. We have Savannah and Abby, our Miss Eldora Speedway girls. Say hello. They'll be out roaming the grounds here later on this evening, so if you see them, say hi, get a photo. They'll be posting on social media as well, so follow all Eldora social media accounts and see what those lovely ladies are up to this evening. Folks, at this time, we're going to keep right on moving. We got nearly 150 cars here set to do battle, so we're going to do our best to keep the program moving. At this time, we ask you to please rise, remove your caps, as we welcome track chaplain Mike Unger to the stage for tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day you've given us and this nice, cool evening that's coming on, the clear blue skies. Lord, we give you all the glory for that. Lord, we just thank you for all the first responders, and we thank you for all the people that have fought and are fighting and will fight to give us the freedom to be here to do what we all love to do, Lord. So just be with them and their families, and Lord, just give us good racing and a safe trip home tonight. And all this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
And now please remain standing as we honor America as Peyton Lair sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How about it for Peyton Lair? All right, race fans, again, we've got a lot of cars here. We've got the late models, the mods, the super stocks, 65 late models, over 50 modifieds, over 30 super stocks. Let them hear you, race fans. Are you ready to go racing? Maybe. You might be ready. One more time. Are you ready? Much better. Rob and Micah, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you very much, my friend. We are ready for heat race number 1 for the Valvoline American Ironman late models. And let's look at our scheduled lineup.
Your pole sitter starting inside of row number 1 in the 157 out of Winfield, Tennessee. It'll be Mike Merler. To his outside in row 1 out of Zanesville, Ohio, it'll be Todd Brennan.
Row number 2 will feature a pair of former IMCA national champions, originally out of Chandler, Arizona. The 20 RT, it'll be RTJ, Ricky Thornton Jr. No relation to him, out of Orcott, California. The 13, it's Dylan Thornton.
Row 3 to the inside, the 4 from Ionia, Michigan. That'll be Travis Stimler. And to his outside in the 91 from McClure, Ohio, Rusty Schlink.
Row 4, keep your eye on him out of Crittenton, Kentucky. The 11R will be on the move. It'll be Josh Ryson alongside him. Out of Millersburg, Ohio, Nathan Loney and the 10.
Row 5 will feature the 18C out of Wheelersburg, Ohio. That'll be Miles Cook II. He will be joined by the 22F of Nick Fenner from Marino, Michigan. And then the 56 of Lyons, Ohio's B.J. Gregory will start shotgun on the field from position number 11 here this evening in what is Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 1 in Group A here this evening at Eldora Speedway for the 17th Annual Baltes Classic presented by Coors Light.
Answer. Looks like all 11 answer the bell. Good to see. Of course, Marler and Brennan are front row. Barney Craig in the beautiful Ford Eldora pace truck. Rick Monroe up on the perch. He'll show the field 1 lap to go. We're getting out of business in a hurry here. Big night of Eldora racing. Good to have you back up here, my friend. Always enjoy spending some time with you here at Eldora. Let's have some fun tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We're just humbled and honored to be here at Eldora Speedway here for this 17th Annual Baltes Classic presented by Coors Light event. 8 laps the distance in the qualifying heat races in both Group A, Group B. The top 6 finishers out of each qualifying heat will transfer on to the main event. Everyone else goes to a B main in each group that will see the top 4 transfer, make up 22 cars. Then there'll be 2 series provisionals start 23rd and 24th in each feature event. Mike Marler in the 157, Todd Brennan in the 20, looking for the excess power batteries green flag here off turn 4 at Eldora Speedway. Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 1 is green, and we are underway. And Marler with a great start. He's going to lead the field off turn 2 down the back straightaway, and RTJ going to be in second.
And we got problems in 1 and 2. The outside pole sitter, Todd Brennan, got crossed up. Unfortunately, Mike, and we stacked him up like cordwood behind. So we'll see who's got damage. I know Rice spun in the 11. Looks like he's going to roll away. Miles Cook also involved in the 18. And I believe it might be the 13 of Dylan Thornton, the other car involved down there. We'll have to take a look here and see if we got a replay.
So that does draw the Deathridge Racing Opticians caution flag. And Josh Rice headed pit side. A lot of right side sheet metal damage on that 11 machine.
So not Dylan Thornton involved. See him out on the backstretch. So some good news there. I believe one more car involved in there.
And under Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series rules, multi-car incident on the opening lap. Everybody will get their original starting positions back. As you see the replay coming up here for those of you watching at home. And Brennan got down into turn number 1 and got just a little crossed up. And Josh Rice really with nowhere to go. And everybody else just kind of piled in on the 11 of Rice.
Looks like the 56 of BJ Gregory was what they're calling. Looks like Brennan might have just had the tire spin there on that initial start there. Didn't get the start he wanted. As you can see, the damage on the Rice number 11 machine. And that's a driver who had a lot of expectations headed into the World 100 week here. And unfortunately, right side damage on that one. So we'll see if they make repairs or if they call it a night. But definitely looks like going to be done for the heat here.
And the Eldora Speedway pace truck ducks into the infield. So hopefully take 2 going to be better here on Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 1. Marler and Brennan looking for the excess power batteries green flag. It is in the air. We are underway. The field going to dive off in the corner 1 and 2. Marler going to jump out with the race lead. Ricky Thornton Jr. going to be in second. Todd Brennan third. Travis Stemler fourth. Dylan Thornton fifth. Rusty Schlink looking to be 6th here. Is a complete lap 1 of Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 1. And here comes Nathan Loney on Schlink.
Loney looking to challenge for that final transfer spot. Meanwhile, Mikey Marler showing the way in the 157. RTJ sits in that 2nd spot. They broke it away from the rest of the field quickly. Or lap number 2 this time by.
Marler continue to show the way with Thornton Jr. in 2nd, Brennan in 3rd, Stemler 4th, Dylan Thornton in 5th, Rusty Schlink holding down the 6th and final transfer spot. Schlink thought about taking a peek beneath Thornton there off 2, nothing doing. He has a next lap going up on the board. We got 3 down, 5 to go. We will be coming to the Algar Performance Parts and Racing Shocks halfway signal this time. And it is the Winfield Warrior, Mike Marler, showing away.
Marler's led them all so far. RTJ comfortably in that 2nd spot. Brennan 3rd. The former UMP national champion Rusty Schlink of the 91 holds that final transfer spot. In fact, Loney now off the pace on the 10 car, maybe showing some smoke. So the 10 machine off the pace may have some problems here in heat race competition. That time by Marler continues to stretch out his advantage over RTJ.
And Marler working off into turn number 3. Saw 4 down Main Street here at Eldora Speedway. Puts lap number 6 on the board. Is going Going to have to negotiate the slower car of Nick Penner there into turn number 3. Has him cleared, working off turn number 4 to the Swofford signs. White flag, final time around, and Hoosier Tire Heat 1.
So the Winfield, Tennessee resident will show the way off of turn number 2 here in heat race number 1. He'll snip past Loney in the 10. He'll call it off the pace. He'll not be able to make the checkered flag, but give this one to Mikey Marler, dominant here in heat race number 1. Here in Group A, RTJ will cross the line in the second spot. Third spot will go to Todd Brennan in the 20. Travis Stimler, the Ionia, Michigan driver, 4th. Dylan Thornton, Dilly 5th. And Rusty Schlink will hold on to that 6th and final transfer spot. Headed to the B main, Miles Cook in the 18C. Joining him, BJ Gregory in the 56. Nick Finner in the 22. Nathan Loney unable to finish in the 10. And Josh Reich having some problems. So unofficial transfer drivers, Rusty Schlink in the 91, Dylan Thornton in the 13, Travis Stimler in the 4, Todd Brennan in the 20, Ricky Thornton Jr. in the 20 RT. And how about at Eldora Speedway? Give him a nice round of applause. Your heat race winner out of Winfield, Tennessee, the 157, Mikey Marler.
And Mike Marler, 47 years of age in that Skyline Motorsports own Infinity chassis. I believe this weekend with the Clements Race Engine, Bruning Rock Products, Skyline Materials, Truck Country, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Olson Explosives, Bennett Explosives, Petrov Towing, Can-Am Auto Salvage, Brown's Heavy Equipment, VP Race Fuels, Bilstein Shocks, and Capital Signs providing sponsorship on that race car as a FloRacing Heat Race number 2 gets set to roll out here in what is a Group A here this evening. And your pole sitter will be the 76 out of Evans, Georgia. Full-time competitor with the Lucas Oil Auto Dirt Series. That is Brendan Overton. And he is outside the driver, currently second in series points behind Rusty Schlink in the 53C out of Parkersburg, West Virginia, Colton Burdett.
Rolling off inside row number 2 out of Loudon, Tennessee. It'll be Corey Hedgecock in the 23V. And alongside him, out of Bloomington, Indiana, former track champion of the 1, it's K-Rob, Kent Robinson.
Row 3, starting in the nickel position from the 5 spot in the 6 out of South Isa, Kentucky, Michael Chilton. It is outside the 114 from Mount Airy, North Carolina, Jordan Kohler.
Oh, row number 4's got a ponytail and a beekeeper. Starting 7th out of Parkersburg, West Virginia, the C4. It'll be Freddie Carpenter alongside him. The 111 out of Sylvester, Georgia. It'll be Stephen Roberts.
Row number 5 will feature the 17 SR of Dade City, Florida's Brody Smith. The 27W of Cortland, Ohio is Eric Wilson. And shotgun on the field for this one in the 11 out of Lancaster, South Carolina. It will be Rachel Snyder. 8 laps. We'll take 6 more out of this one into the Group A 25-lap feature. Overton and Burdett bringing them to the Excess Power Batteries green flag here off turn number 4. Green flag in the air. And I don't know if that start's going to stand or not. They may very well bring that one back.
Yes.
And they sure will. The 76 of Overton, he's in charge of the start. He sets the pace and starts the race. The 53C, just a little quick on the trigger right there. So they'll bring them back and try it once again here.
Stack them up 2 by 2. The 53 on the hammer a little bit, as you mentioned. They were thrashing on that car early in the morning on social media. They showed them out in the parking lot just getting after it there. So looking for some hard work to pay off. Of course, Overton in the 76 looking to make things happen here at Eldora in the fall. All 11 answer the bell. So take 2. Lights are out. I'll bet you we get a better start this time.
Overton in 76, Burdett in a 53C. Eyes on them as they look for that Excess Power Batteries green flag off turn number 4. It is in the air, and we are underway. Almost 3 wide behind Overton. And Corey Hitchcock going to slide up, maybe grab the second position. Burdett got a little bit of concrete there, going to lose several spots. Is Overton going to lead the opening lap? And here comes Michael Chilton, the South Isa, Kentucky driver, up to second. Corey Hitchcock going to be in the 3rd spot. Kent Robinson 4th, Jordan Kohler 5th, and Stephen Roberts in 6th.
Tough break for Colton Burdett in the 53 off the pace there. So he was the big loser on the initial start as we stacked them up. The big winner on all that was Michael Chilton in the 6th car. Chilton quickly up to that 2nd spot. As Hedgecock will sit 3rd. Meanwhile, Brandon Overton, the Georgia racer, right now comfortably out front here in heat race number 2 in Group A.
And you mentioned Michael Chilton started back in the 5th spot, currently in the bridesmaid position here at the moment. Chasing race leader Brandon Overton. Overton pushed the nose of the car right there in the center 1 and 2 a little bit and let Chilton gain just a little bit of ground on him. Hedgecock in that Longhorn here this weekend. He sets in position number 3, Jordan Kohler. In the Randall Chuck lookalike 114 in 4th, Kent Robinson 5th, and Eric Wilson now has made his way up to 6th. The Cortland, Ohio driver started back in the 10th spot in the final transfer position.
So he's on the hot seat right now. Stephen Roberts wants it. So Overton showing the way. Chilton in the 2nd spot, as you mentioned. Hedgecock added the Longhorn chassis to the stable. And it looks like he's starting to get that thing humming around the top side of the Speedway, as now he's closing in on Michael Chilton for that runner-up spot.
And we'll have 6 laps complete this time by 6 down. A pair of trips remaining around Eldora Speedway here in FloRacing Heat Race number 2. And Brandon Overton continues to stretch his legs out in front. We'll be looking for the Swafford signs. White flag off turn number 4. Final time around in FloRacing Heat 2 for Group A.
So Overton dominant here so far. Chilton able to hang with him. Hedgecock trying to run him down, but not going to have enough time. Down the back chute for the final time. Brandon Overton going to pick up heat race number 2 for Group A. Second across the line will be Michael Chilton. Hedgecock 3rd. Jordan Kohler 4th, K-Rob, Kent Robinson 5th. Final transfer spot, good run for Eric Wilson. Stephen Roberts unofficially 7th. He'll be headed to the B along with Brody Smith, Freddie Carpenter, Rachel Snyder, and Colton Burdett having some woes. Your unofficial transfer drivers once again, that'll be Eric Wilson in the 27, Kent Robinson in the 1, Jordan Kohler in the 114, Corey Hedgecock in the 23, the 6, that's Michael Chilton. And how about an Eldora Speedway? Put a nice round of applause together for the driver, the 76. He's got the hat on backwards probably already. Put it together for big sexy Brandon Overton.
Brandon Overton again out of Evans, Georgia, 34 years of age, and that's Scott Riggs owned Longhorn chassis powered by Clements Race Engine, sponsored by Riggs Fiber, Garnto Southern, Dude Wipes, and a Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Brandon Overton victorious in FloRacing Heat Race number 2 here for Group A, as the cars already trackside for Impact Race Gear Heat Race 3 here in Group A. The pole sitter, the 3 of White House, Ohio's Matt Miller is outside the 57 of New Concord, Ohio's Caden Black.
Pair of gassers will make up row number 2 on the inside out of Kingston, Georgia, the 31. It'll be Tyler Millwood. And alongside him, it's Uncle T time. Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas in the 1.
Row 3, the 14 of St. Augustine, Florida's Trey Mills, the 95 of the Jedi, Jerry Bowersock out of Wapakoneta, Ohio.
Row 4, the veteran out of Sylvania, Ohio, the 1 in, that'll be Casey Noonan alongside of him, Sheridan, Michigan's Dylan Cohn in the 26.
Row 5, we'll see the 8 of Lexington, Kentucky's Megan Sanders, the 16 of London, Ohio, Steve Sabo, and the 75 of Monticello, Indiana's Toma Johnson. Shotgun on the field for this one. 8 laps, 6 more out of this one. That'll give us 18 cars that will be transferred in to the Group A feature event. Miller and Black looking for the excess power batteries. Green flag off of turn number 4. And Rick Monroe throws the flag, and we are underway here in this one. And Matt Miller working out to an early race lead, and Black and Turbo trying to get 2 for 1. He will go from 4th to 2nd here off of turn 4. Uncle T on the move early here in this one.
Picking him up, putting him down. A 2-time Baltes Classic champion right now, showing the way. That's the number 3 of Matt Miller. Uncle T sits in the 2nd spot. Millwood 3rd. Battle rages for the 4th spot. As right now, the Jedi's got that 6th and final transfer spot, but we got a long way to go here in heat race number 3.
Matt Miller shows the way out in front of this one here at the moment. Tyler Erb trying to run him down if at all possible. As we complete lap number 3, 1 lap shy of the halfway mark. Miller and Erb have put some distance back to the battle for 3rd now between the 14 of Trey Mills and the 31 of Tyler Millwood as that pair dances off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Miller working off turn number 4. We'll see the Algar Performance Parts and Racing Shocks halfway signal. 4 down, 4 to go, and Mills going to go to 3rd.
So the Miller DeLong got the band back together once again, and they're showing the way here in heat race number 3. Uncle T trying to close down as the driver, the 14, young Trey Mills up to the 4th spot. Millwood sits 5th. Black now starting to struggle a little bit. Mike, is Bowersock's closing in, and Noonan on the outside looking in, but laps starting to slip away.
Laps slipping away here as we will come to 2 laps to settle at this time in Impact Race Gear Heat Race number 3. And Matt Miller continues to show the way here out in front, about 0.3 of a second between 1st and 2nd place right there that time by. If you look at the lap time, 16.180 to 16.441 on that last lap. as the Swafford signs white flags out. Final time around in Impact Race Gear Heat number 3.
So a driver who has won the dream here at the Eldora Speedway, trying to pick up the final heat here in Group number A. Gets back with the DeLong number 3 and finds speed, able to pick up the final heat in Group number A. As Tyler comes across second. Good heat race there for Trey Mills. He'll come across the line. Third, Tyler Millwood. Fourth, Caden Black holds on to the 5th spot. Final transfer spot will go to Jerry Bowersock's Casey Noonan headed to B, along with Steve Sabo, Megan Sanders, Dylan Cohn, and Toma Johnson. So your unofficial transfers will be the 95, Jerry Bowersock, Caden Black in the 57, Tyler Millwood in the 31, Trey Mills in the 14, your runner-up, the 1T, Tyler Up out of White House, Ohio. He's a 2-time Baltes Classic winner. How about it? Put your hands together for the 3, Matt Miller.
Then Matt Miller, 54 years of age, and that Rick DeLong owned rocket chassis powered by a Gressman Power Sports race engine, sponsored by ARM, available ready mix, 10 Mile Excavating Incorporated, Corrigan Race Fuels, and Rick DeLong Racing. So 18 drivers are now in to the feature event out of Group A, and we will turn our attention to the drivers here in Group B as we get set to roll out now for what'll be Hoosier Tire Heat 1 in Group B here this evening at Eldora Speedway. And your pole sitter got the C&W Sales $500 Fast Time Award, courtesy of Whitney McQuarrie, the Whitrock in the C&W Sales Group out of Liberty, Kentucky. The 96 out of Benton, Kentucky, it'll be Tanner English, and to his outside, the youngster out of Ocala, Florida, piloting the 388 machine, that is Jackson Heiss.
Inside row number 2, the driver out of Brandon, Florida, the 40B, it'll be Kyle Bronson. Alongside him out of Newport, Tennessee, it's the O Show, Jimmy Owens in the 20.
Row 3 will feature the 8 of Mooresville, North Carolina's Kyle Strickler, and to his outside in the 14 from Savannah, Georgia, it's Hayden Cowan.
Row number 4 will have a veteran and a youngster out of Wheelersburg, Ohio, the 71R. It'll be Hot Rod Conley, and alongside him out of Rogersville, Tennessee, in the throwback, Kate Lowdy of the 26K.
Row 5 features the 5 of Ionia, Michigan's Bryant Dickinson, and the 99J of Dayton, Ohio's Donnie Jeske. And starting in row 11 all by himself in that 22 machine out of Monticello, Indiana, Jace Owens. Again, this starts the heats for Group B, and the top 6 going to transfer on here out of Hoosier Tire Heat Race 1 in Group B. Excess power batteries, green flag waves, and we are underway. English dives off to the bottom of turn number 1, slides up as Bronson tried to pressure Heiss there for a second momentarily. Heiss going to have it. Bronson getting some pressure from Jimmy Owens. Now here comes Bronson. He's going to try to slip through and get second from Heiss, but Heiss with a power move to the outside holds on for the moment, but Bronson not giving up on the bottom.
So here in Group B, Heat number 1, it's Kentucky, a pair of Florida racers, and a PA native run 1 through 4 right now. The battle for the transfer spot. Give it to the 71 to Conley. He'll sneak into that 6th spot.
Rod Conley in the 6th and final transfer spot at the moment as Kyle Bronson has grabbed the 2nd position away from Jackson Heiss, but they are all chasing Benton, Kentucky's Tanner English out in front of this one here at the moment as we come to complete lap number 3. Bronson in 2nd, Heiss in 3rd. Kyle Strickler starting to challenge Heiss now for the 3rd position as that pair works off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Jimmy Owens sets 5th. Rod Conley in the 6th and final transfer spot as Tanner English brings him down to the Algar Performance Parts and Racing Shocks halfway signal. 4 down, 4 to go here at Hoosier Tire Heat 1 in Group B.
So right now, Strickler trying to get that AK race cars up into the top 3 as now Jimmy Owens will come a call. And meanwhile, the driver, Tanner English, we talked about him, is quite together a solid 2025 campaign. Shows the way here in Group B, Heat number 1.
And Hayden Cowan looking to reclaim that 6th and final transfer position away from Rod Conley, and he's going to have it off turn 2 down the back straightaway as a race leader Tanner English down Main Street here with 6 laps in the book, 6 down and 2 to go in Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 1 for Group B here this evening at Eldora Speedway. In English, you're going to see the Swafford signs, white flag, final time around in Hoosier Tire Heat 1 for Group B.
So English shows the way. Bronson comfortably in the 2nd. Jimmy Owens sneaks into that 3rd spot right now. Jackson Heiss, Kyle Strickler, and Hayden Cowan unofficially your top 6 here as we come down to Rick Monroe's checkered flag. It's going to be Tanner English picking up the win. And the Colton Farms 96, Kyle Bronson 2nd. The O Show comes across the line, 3rd, Jackson Heiss, Kyle Strickler. Hayden Shane Cowan. They all go to the Group B main event. Rod Conley headed to the B main. Donnie Shesky coming around with Brian Dickinson. Cade Loudy had some woes. Jace Owens ducked into the infield before the green. So Cowan comes across line 6, Strickler 5th, Heise 4th, Owens 3rd, Kyle Bronson, your runner-up. And the driver out of Benton, Kentucky in the 96. How about it, Eldora? Nice round of applause for Tanner English.
And Tanner English putting that Coltman Farms number 96 machine into victory lane here this evening in what is Hoosier Tire Heat Race number 1 for Group B. In the Coltman Farms Autism Awareness sponsored number 96. Getting backed up in there for the Druk check, as they do with each heat race winner. And we get ready to roll here now with a FloRacing Heat Race number 2. And it will line up like this. Your pole sitter will be the 20 TC out of Richmond, Indiana. It'll be Tristan Chamberlain, and to his outside, the 99 junior out of Frankfort, Illinois, Frank Hickenash Jr.
Inside row number 2, the Ohio racer picked up his first career series win this year. That'll be Clint Keenan, the 29, alongside him out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the 114K. It'll be Evan Kohler.
Row number 3 to the inside, the 17 SS out of Dade City, Florida. That'll be Brendan Smith. And to his outside, out of Lapeer, Michigan, in the 18, Chase Berta.
Row 4, starting 7th out of Nicholsville, Kentucky, the 13W, David Webb alongside him. Out of Holland, Ohio, a former Baltes stock car winner. That'll be Terry Rushlow in the 63.
In row number 5, we'll see the 94 out of Spring Lake, Michigan. That'll be Bill Bray. And to his outside, the 8 of Swanton, Ohio's Rob Anderzak. And the T1 of Lafayette, Alabama's Todd Morrow will be shotgun on the field starting in the 11th position for this one here this evening. As we get set to go 8 laps and take 6 more out of this one into the Group B feature event, FloRacing Heat Race number 2 for Group B. Chamberlain and Frankie Jr. set to smash the line pedal and bring them up to speed here at Eldora Speedway down into turn number 1. Chamberlain working the bottom, trying to nose out in front. Berta has got to concrete, but looks like he's going to continue on safely. Frankie Jr. with the lead, getting some pressure now from Tristan Chamberlain as that pair works off turn number 4. And Brendan Smith trying to throw his head in the ring here as well.
So a pair of second-generation late-model racers run 1, 2, and make that 3 now as Brendan Smith throws his hat in the ring, top 3, as the Land of Lincoln racer Frank Hickenash Jr. shows the way here in heat number 2 for Group B.
Frank Hickenash Jr. out in front, Tristan Chamberlain second, Brendan Smith third, David Webb digging hard on the bottom, trying to get around Clint Keenan for 4th, not going to be able to do it. Keenan holds down 4th, Webb rides in 5th. The 114K of Evan Kohler, he is in that 6th and final transfer spot at the moment. As Todd Morrow, first man on the outside, looking in right now from that 7th spot. As we will be coming to the Algar Performance Parts and Racing Shocks halfway signal. 4 down, 4 to go. Frankie Jr. continues to show the way.
So Frankie Jr. out front. Chamberlain sits in the 2nd spot. Brendan Smith 3rd. Front 3 remain unchanged right now. As the 114K's got that final transfer spot, Todd Morrow started this one all the way back in 11th. He's 7th, but he's still got some more work to do here.
As the laps are winding down, 5 officially scored. And we've got a Deathridge Racing Opticians caution flag as Tristan Chamberlain's 20 TC machine slows up in turn 1 and 2, and tough break for the driver better known as Tricky Tristan. Was running in the 2nd and final transfer position there, Rob, and looks like he's fixing to make the left turn into the infield pit area.
So looking at the attitude of the car, hard to tell, but I believe all 4 Hoosiers should be up on that machine, so not sure there what ails the driver, who's regular on the World of Outlaw Tour, but he's going to duck his way back to the hauler, so his heat's going to be complete. As we often say in motorsports, somebody's misfortune will quickly turn into someone's fortune, and that's going to put the T1 up into a transfer spot as he started shotgun on the field. Meanwhile, the scoring monitor is going absolutely bonkers up here in the tower.
Get 4 laps down, 4 laps remain here in what is FloRacing Heat Race 2 for Group B. Frank Hickenash Jr., the race leader. Brendan Smith will now be second. Clint Keenan looks to be third. David Webb fourth. Evan Kohler fifth. And it appears that Todd Morrow has worked his way up from the 11th position, unofficially setting in the sixth spot here at the moment.
And we talked a little bit earlier, I believe both Smiths ran the entire Summer National Tour and then went back to beautiful Dade City, Florida, just north of Tampa, right off I-75, to regroup a little bit and hit the road here again. So they'll be here for the World 100. Chase Berta, unfortunately, got into the fence on that initial start, Michael, and the right side quarter panel deck took the worst of that, but maybe this caution might be able to help him try to recalculate and get past a couple of cars. As Rick Monroe's going to show the field 1 to go here at the line. We're halfway, 4 down, 4 to go here. Group B heat race number 2.
And caution lights going down. Frank Heckenash Jr. With the field in tow behind him, and the legendary Barney Craig speeds up there in the Eldora Speedway pace truck and gets set to make the left turn there in the center of the back straightaway into the infield, and that will leave Frank Heckenash Jr. in charge of the field as they get set to wind them up and bring them back to the green flag here off of turn number 4. The excess power batteries green flag waves after this Death Ridge Racing Opticians caution period. And we're racing here once again. Heckenash Jr. leads the field off 2 down the back straightaway. Brendan Smith going to be in second. Clint Keenan third. David Webb fourth. Evan Kohler in fifth. Todd Morrow in sixth. Getting some heat from the 8 of Rob Andersack there. But out in front, Frankie Jr. continuing to show the way. Brendan Smith in the second position as they will come to the 2 lap to go signal right here.
Keep your eye on the 18. He's tiptoeing the top side here. Had a good initial start. He's still on the outside looking in, but he's on the move right now. He was 1 spot out, and we still got some laps left here.
Here's the field coming down here to the Swafford Signs white flag. Final time around in FloRacing Heat Race number 2 here for Group B. Frank Heckenash Jr. trying to seal the deal here in this one. He's been out front all the way. And as he makes his way off turn number 4, Frank Heckenash Jr. out of Frankfort, Illinois will win FloRacing Heat Race number 2 for Group B. The 17 SS of Brendan Smith will come home in second. Clint Keenan will finish in third. David Webb will come home in fourth. Fifth, we'll go to the 114K of Evan Kohler, and the 6th and final transfer spot goes to the T1 of Lafayette, Alabama's Todd Morrow. So Morrow comes home 6th, Kohler 5th, Webb 4th, Keenan 3rd, Brendan Smith 2nd, and victorious in FloRacing Heat Race number 2 here this evening. The driver out of Frankfort, Illinois, 36 years of age. He is the car owner of that Longhorn Vic Hill powered machine, sponsored by NDU Pullet, J.R. Hauling Storage, Squares, Petroff Towing, Jim Weber Motorsports, Capital Cap Signs, All-Star Performance, Wham Bam, and Dirt Oval. Out of Frankfort, Illinois, big round of applause for Frank Heckenash Jr. And the final heat race of the evening for the Valvoline American Late Model Ironman Series. This will be Impact Race Gear Heat Race number 3 for Group B. And it is scheduled to grid like this. Your pole sitter in the S21 out of Jackson, Ohio, to be Seth Daniels. And his outside in the W1 from Grant, Ohio, that is Corey Workman.
Road to the inside, Batesville, Indiana's Dustin Nobby in the 5N. Alongside him, out of Vesterberg, Michigan, the 21N, it'll be Logan Nickerson.
Row number 3 to the inside, we'll see the 39 of Bryan, Ohio's Brandon Moore, and his outside the 32 from Edinburgh, Indiana, that is Chad Stapleton.
Row 4 starting 7th, making his Eldora debut out of Franklin, North Carolina, it'll be Evan Harrell in the 29H, and alongside of him, out of Chatham, Ontario, Canada, the 06 Jordan Van Hall.
In the final row, going to be the 87 of Fruitport, Michigan's Rich Nizer, and the P3 of Defiance, Ohio's Jeff Robertson, as the excess power batteries green flag waves. And we are green here on this one as they make their way off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Seth Daniels noses out in front, but we got a battle shaping up for second. Here comes Dustin Nobby through.
Oh, we're getting sideways over 3 and 4. Everybody minds their P's and Q's. One of the books, that Daniel shows the way, but how about the 5N, Michael? He's coming to call it.
Dustin Nobby took a look there off turn number 2, not able to get the run. Is Seth Daniels showing the way here out in front at the moment. In the Jason Wilson owned S21 Rocket. Daniels been out of the cockpit for almost 7 weeks. Broke a bone in his hand as they unloaded the race car after a Summer Nationals event at Hopstad, Indiana, around 5th or 6th of July. And first night back out in the race car, and he's showing no ill effects of it, getting his physical therapy, sitting there in the driver's seat.
All smiles for the S21. He shows the way. Nickerson and Total Chaos Stapleton run 3rd and 4th right now. Evan Harrell trying to crack the starting lineup of the 29. He holds that final transfer spot, and we are halfway in the final heat of the night here for the late models.
The Algar Performance and Racing Shocks halfway signal down, and Seth Daniels, the only car under 17 seconds right now here in Impact Race Gear Heat Race number 3 for Group B, stretching that lead out as the laps wind down here. 5 in the books, and a hat trick for all the hockey fans out there. 3 laps remaining here in Impact Race Gear Heat Race number 3. Yes, Daniels will come down. There'll be 2 laps to go here in this one.
So Daniels looking tip-top in the final heat of the night. Nobby sits 2nd. Nickerson is 3rd. Stapleton, front 4 remain unchanged right now as Harrell closes in on Workman for 5th and 6th. But they ain't got a comfortable advantage to 7th place, this time by a white flag in the air for Seth Daniels.
Seth Daniels sees the Swafford Signs white flag final time around here in Impact Race Gear Heat Race number 3. Daniels down the back straightaway for the final time with it well in hand. Into turn number 3, off of turn number 4. It'll be Jackson, Ohio. Seth Daniels victorious here in FloRacing Heat Race number 3 for Group B. Dustin Nobby will come home in 2nd. Logan Nickerson out of Esтерburg, Michigan will finish 3rd. Chad Stapleton back at Eldora comes home 4th. Coy Workman will be 5th. And Evan Harrell in his Eldora debut going to make the feature event here this evening is Rich Nizer, Jordan Van Hall, and Jeff Robertson all will be headed to a B main. Top 6 finishers. 6th, Evan Harrell in the 29. Corey Workman 5th in the W1. Chad Stapleton 4th in the 32. The 21 in Logan Nickerson 3rd. The 5 in Dustin Nobby 2nd. And victorious in Impact Race Gear Heat Race number 3 for Group B here this evening. The driver, 25 years of age, celebrates his 26th birthday tomorrow. So happy early birthday to this young man in the Jason Wilson Racing owned Rocket XR 1.2 with the Ryan Race engine beneath the hood, sponsored by Wilson Excavating, Tim Haddle Trucking, Basil Race Fuels, Montgomery Motorsports, S&D Transport, Red's Rolling Garage, 4 Boys Racing, and FK Rod-Ins. He's out of Jackson, Ohio. Eldora Speedway. Let him hear you. Seth Daniels, winner of Impact Race Gear Heat Race number 3 here in Group B. Earlier there at Heat Race number 1, don't want to leave out Tanner English, his sponsors, the Benton, Kentucky driver. He's 32 years of age, and that Brett Coltman owned a Longhorn with a Clement, sponsored by Coltman Farms. Autism Awareness, the Special Needs School of Gwinnett. Pro Fabrication, MPM Marketing, M&M Painting and Construction, C Motors, DirtCarLift.com, Boswell Oil, VP Racing Fuels, SRI Performance, Swift Springs, and Bilstein Shocks. And Modified starting to make their way down, and we're going to have some dirt car modified heats coming up next.
Oh boy, are we. So we'll be back for some B-Main action. Oh no. But meanwhile, Josh is going to tag in, and we've got some big mod heats here after the Big E. All of these will be 8 laps the distance. Top 5 move directly to their A main, as we will transfer everybody from the top side as the bulk of the mods are up there. They'll make their way down. Shift change, so to speak. $6,086. So my $7,500 thought, Josh, looks like, oops, 6,124. I think we can hit it. So I think maybe that 10,000 that you threw out there, quite
it
possible.
Might be attainable.
It might be.
Buy early, buy often. Again, Eldora5050.com, where we've got multiple folks around the grounds selling them all. So what a beautiful night for racing. See the sunset there over the grandstands here at Eldora Speedway. Beautiful, beautiful fall evening as we get set to roll here with the modifieds. Again, we'll have 4 heat races for these drivers, 8 laps the distance. We will take the top 5. The balance will go to a B main, and again, a stout field of over 50 modifieds here. So Unfortunately, that means there's going to be some good drivers that do not make the show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So heat race number 1, getting ready to roll out onto the racetrack behind Barney Craig and that beautiful Eldora Ford pace truck. We've got some quiet on the Speedway. Josh, let's go ahead and look at lineup for heat number 1. Gates closed, so we should be able to get down to business.
Here's how they'll roll off to the green inside row number 1. And the car number 43A is going to be Mark Anderson out of Lowell, Michigan. To his outside, Mason Lobb of Frewsburg, New York.
Road to the inside, New Bremen, Ohio's Drew Charleston in the 21C. Alongside him out of Warsaw, Indiana, Dylan Nussbaum in the 17N.
Row number 3, the 60 machinist Shannon Fisk out of Lowell, Michigan. To the outside, it's the milkman Ryan Sutter piloting car number 18 out of Coldwater, Ohio.
Starting 7th, making his Eldora debut out of Crawfordsville, Indiana, will be Bryce Scheidler in the 64. Outside him, Sterling, Ontario, Canada's Greg Bellier in the 25.
Row 5 is the 10Y out of Crofton, Kentucky. Trent Young. To the outside, it's Catfish Scotty Williams out of Eaton, Ohio.
Row 6, starting 11th, that'll be the 12. That will be Joe Buskirk out of Banbridge, Ohio. And to the outside of him, the 28B, he hails out of Washington, West Virginia, Jason Brookover.
And rounding out the field out of Tipton, Michigan, car number 52H, Nate Hutchison. So 13 drivers, 8 laps, and we take just the top 5. Barney Craig's got that Eldora Ford Raptor pace truck out there and set for the first of 4 modified heat races. Going to be a good one. We'll keep our eye, of course, on the battle for the lead, but just as, or probably more importantly, we'll keep our eyes all night long on the battles for that 5th and final transfer. Lights are out, Rob. That means we're going green flag racing next time.
All right, so here we go. Josh, I'm going to keep my eye on that row number 5. Trent Young, Catfish, Scotty Williams. I got a feeling both those guys will be moving to the front here. Anderson and Loeb side by side. Here we go. Heat race number 1 of the Big E. We're racing with the mods.
Green flag is out. 2 by 2. We sail into turns 1 and 2. Good jump on the outside from Mason Lobb as he takes the lead away from Anderson. Charleston slides into 3rd spot. Look at 64, Bryce Scheidler coming to the bottom. He grabs a transfer spot and more.
Scheidler picking him up, putting down a regular with Shady Hill Speedway. 8 feature wins with 6 in a row. Picked up the win last night, and we've got problems as the driver of the 52, Nate Hutchinson, the Michigan racer, I believe a Butler regular, gets her crossed up over there 3 and 4. Josh, but I do believe 1 lap officially scored.
Yeah, we'll double check on that. Should have 1 lap in the books and an exciting first lap at that. Some nice moves there from Scheidler. He started inside row number 4 in the 7th spot and quickly picked off 3 positions.
So Scheidler, longtime campaigner in the Indiana Superstock scene, moved into the modifieds here recently. He's got that diamond race car hooked up here at his Eldora debut. But how about Mason Lobb in that 28 right now? I believe also the first time for the New York racer, one of the lethal cars. Leading laps here at the Big E, and that's always impressive. So Eldora's safety out for the first time here this evening. And let's see. We'll see if the 52 needs the hook.
Yeah, didn't look like he got it refired there.
Yep, check the front end. Maybe.
Maybe.
Brought it in the old school open trailer, and got to love that. And unfortunately, something in the front end askew, so he will see the hook. So Eldora safety will pick him up.
1 lap is in the book, so we'll have 7 laps down again, taking the top 5. First of 4 modified heat races. After this, it's 4 stock car heat races. Of course, dual features tonight for the late models. 1 feature each for the stocks and mods. Third of 4 point-paying races for the modified. Scheduled to be 5. Mother Nature unfortunately canceled race number 1.
So scratch the hook. That's always good.
Yep.
Front end looks to be pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
Staying on the racetrack for now.
Party on. Game on.
Party on, Wayne.
That's right. So we'll stack them up 2 by 2. Leader chooses high. Everybody else will fill in the gap. So Charleston goes down low. So the double file restarts in action here for the modifieds. 1 in the book, 7 to go. Rick says, next time by, let's get down to business. Milkman's got some work to do.
We're currently sitting outside row number 4. Again, taking the top 5. Still plenty of time.
Oh, yeah. 50-50, $6,608. It continues to grow.
I think we can hit 8. I don't know if we can hit 10. We can definitely hit 8.
Yeah, I think it's I'm going to say easily it'll be the smallest pot of the week, but that's nothing to sneeze at, as you mentioned. So the 28 setting a deliberate pace down the back straightaway. Just a touch faster than a herd of turtles. Let's see if they pick it up here a little bit. Still, there we go. Now we're getting on the loud pedal. We're back at it here at heat race number 1.
Back at it. Charleston lines up on the inside of row 1 this time, but once again, it's a good start on the outside from the 28. Mason Lobb will hang on to the lead. Coming in behind him, Anderson in the 43. Gets by Nussbaum, sets his sights on the 21. And once again, here comes that 64. Scheidler started this race in 7th. He grabbed 4th. He's now trying to grab the 3rd spot away.
Oh, that car's got some serious drive off of turn number 2 up to that 3rd spot. The winner Friday night at Montpelier, Dylan Nussbaum, led laps here earlier in the month. Right now, he is falling back to the 5th, now getting challenged by Trent Young to the 6th spot.
Behind him, Fisk made contact with the wall, lost a lot of positions, keeping her eye on that final transfer spot. Right now, that belongs to Young. As Nussbaum, you just mentioned, he falls out of that final transfer and back to 6. Ryan Sutter and Scotty Williams right behind them, trying to close in again. This the battle just outside the top 5. We take the top 5 as we're halfway home. 4 down, 4 to go.
As you mentioned, Josh, some fast cars on the outside looking in right now. The New York racer, impressive. And that lethal chassis 28 starting to drive away from Charleston. Row 43, the Michigan racer will slip up off a 2. That'll open the door for the 10. And here comes the milkman of the 18.
Yeah, right now that final transfer spot will belong to the 43 of Anderson. Sutter, the first man out, but he's got some speed. He's going to try to take that final transfer here in 1 and 2. He goes to the top side, has the momentum, and moved the milkman into the 5th and final transfer spot as we're coming to 2 laps to go.
Oh, the cows are moving in the 18 right now. He's on the move. Meanwhile, the 28 continues to be dominant here in heat number 1. Scheidler sits in that 3rd spot. Young's made the move up to 4th, and the milkman sits 5th. Now the 43 of Anderson trying to hold on to that 6th spot, even if he doesn't make it. That's a good starting spot in that one of the B mains. White flag in the air, 1 to go.
One more time around for Mason Lobb, the driver out of Frewsburg, New York, here at the Eldora Speedway. Quick and hot laps quick here in this feature as well. Again, final transfer spot. Sutter comfortably has that. As we come around off of turn number 4, checkered flag is out, and Mason Lobb will grab heat race number 1 for the modifieds. Charleston in 2nd. Scheidler grabs 3rd. Young 4th. Ryan Sutter is 5th. Those are your top 5, and those are the 5 advancing straight to the night's A main event.
6th unofficial will be Mark Anderson, Scotty Williams 7th, Dylan Nussbaum 8th, Greg Bellier, Joe Buzzkirk, Shanna Fisk, Nate Hutchinson, and Jason Brookover. So, how about it? As you mentioned, some fast cars going to have some more work to do, but Sutter goes to the main event. He's 5th, Young 4th, Bryce Scheidler, impressive. Drew Charleston, your runner-up. He's got to get across the scales to make it official, but the driver out of Frewsburg, New York, in the lethal chassis, Jones Construction, Bergman Enterprises, number 28. How about it, Eldora? First time here, first time to get a checkered flag. How about it, Mason Lobb in the 28? Good to see.
Impressive run there, and again, Scheidler goes from 7th to 3rd. Trent Young goes from 9th to 4th in that heat race. So some impressive moves from both of those drivers to get their way into the feature. Here we go, though. Heat race number 2. Here's how they roll out. Jason Holland will take car number 3H from the pole out of Middletown, Ohio. Jeff Cause of Lima goes outside in car 16.
Road to the inside. Another youngster making his Eldora debut out of Waterville, Michigan. It'll be Tyler Spalding in the 1TS. Alongside him, the driver out of Salzburg, Pennsylvania in the 5. It's Jonathan Taylor.
Row number 3, Braden Berry out of West Portsmouth, Ohio in the B75. Apollo, Pennsylvania's Evan Taylor starts right behind his brother in car number 7.
Starting 7th out of Columbia City, Indiana, the second winningest driver of the Mod Division. That'll be Scotty Orr in the 88 alongside him. Your point leader out of Wapakoneta, Ohio, the 5X, the Jedi, Jerry Bowersock.
Tristan Chamberlain double dipping out of Richmond in car number 72H inside row 5. And Ohio's Jason Kinney to the outside in the 4.
Scheduled to be the 20, Josh Morton out of Piqua, Ohio. Alongside him, the driver, another one, I believe, making his Eldora debut. He drives the 11. He hails out of Binford, Ohio, Adam Coley.
And the driver not making his Eldora debut, the 22T T-Bone Tony Anderson, a veteran here in both the stock car and modified divisions.
Yeah, I believe he just puts the GPS on automatic pilot to get to the Big E.
Once again, we'll take 13 cars. We'll drive them 8 laps. Top 5 will go to the feature, the balance to the B main.
So we'll show the field 1 to go. I believe that's Josh Morton in the Brad Hess number 10. So Jeff Kaz always fast. Taylor brothers, they're always in the mix. Or Scotty Orr with a great record here at the Big E. Jerry Bowersock, current point leader. We got young Tyler Spalding. We got a lot of stuff to watch.
Kind of a stacked heat.
Yeah, this might be heat of the night. And then, of course, Tristan Chamberlain in that 72. He's won in that car at the Montpelier Motor Speedway. His first look at Eldora in the mod. It's interesting, a lot of guys will go from the mods to the late models. Usually it's not the late models to the mods. And they will tell you the modifieds are probably one of the hardest machines to drive here at Eldora. A whole lot of horsepower, not a whole lot of tire. The late models are like Cadillacs. So we'll see what he can do. Tricky Tristan. So the 3 and the 16. Here we go, Josh. Green flag. We're trucking at the Big E.
Trucking down the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2. Holland on the inside, Jeff Kaz on the outside. The Taylor brothers right behind them in cars 5 and 7. Jonathan will get a good run off the top side. Still 3 wide, though. 4 wide as Holland slips up. Jonathan drives it in there deep. Jeff Kaz going to hold on to the lead for now, but here comes the Jedi, Jerry Bowersock. Oh, my.
Oh, the 5 and Taylor started that slide job way back in Piqua. Meanwhile, top 6 still up in the air, but how about Jerry Bowersock? He started 8th. He says, I want to go to P1, and that's where he's at. Oh, my.
That is exactly where he went. Good drive from him. We got 1 around in 4 yellow. That's going to be the 72H machine of Tristan Chamberlain.
Yeah, everybody did a good job. There was a high pucker factor there for a brief second. Driver's side was faced with traffic. Everybody minded their P's and Q's. And the 72 ducks down pit road just to touch nose damage to that machine, but we'll see if he elects to take it back to the trailer. How about Jerry Bowersock? That was a crazy start, and then just like that, I look up, he's out front, point leader.
Yeah, that was wild. In 2 laps from 8th to the point. Pace truck will pick him back up here in 1 and 2. Already over 7,000 on that 50-50. We might be able to get to 10. We got a little time yet.
We got some time. Taylor started that slide job, but back about the interstate batteries side.
Drove it in deep.
Hauled it in there to 3 and 4. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if he thought he was going to get it woed down. I wasn't quite sure if he was going to get it woed down, but it worked out. So looks like 72 going to rejoin the field there. So officials were getting some cars. I believe Barry in the 75. We saw him at the Dirt Track World Championship. That'll be the next event for the mods. As Rick will show the field 1 to go. We stack them up 2 by 2. Jeff Kaz. $50-50, $7,108. That just continues.
Going green next time, 6 laps. Again, taking the top 5. Final transfer spot right now belonging to Spalding.
But there's some good cars behind him, including the 7 of Taylor, the 88 of Orr.
Tyler Spalding, I should mention.
Yep. We'll see Dad a little bit later.
Back underway, nearly 3 wide. Jonathan Taylor tried to thread the needle there momentarily as he follows the current point leader. And Jerry Bowersock around the outside. Gets by Kaz. Jonathan Taylor grabs second. And speaking of Spalding, he's now trying to dig on the outside also. Side by side behind them with a battle for the final transfer spot. Orr and Evan Taylor, they touch off turn 4.
And yellow's going to fly.
1 around between 3 and 4.
Yep. Josh Morton, the Wizard, and the Hess 10 machine gets crossed up. Don't believe he made any contact. Can't say the same for the 7 and the 88. Little right side romance down the front straightaway. As we got 3 of the books, 5 to go. So Heat 2 has been entertaining, Josh. They are using every inch of the Eldora Speedway here to try to get their way to the front. Score's working on where everybody needs to be.
Well, when you got only 8 laps and you've got 13 cars and you're only taking 5, You're going to get some drivers back there, 6th, 7th, 8th, driving pretty aggressive to try to make their way up into those transfer spots.
Yeah, I believe everybody probably pretty much feels like they've got the friend quota checked before they came to the Eldora Speedway. So trying to get things pointed in the right direction. As you mentioned, not a lot of laps to do it. So,
and again, back at that transfer spot, it belongs to Scott Orr. Evan Taylor, Holland, Kinney just on the outside. So that is going to be a fun battle to watch when we go back to green.
So stacking them up 2 by 2. Rick says we're good. Lights go out. Barney in the Eldora Pace truck, that beautiful Raptor. He's going to sneak away. Somebody's got to wash that for Thursday. I don't know if Levi's going to have. Somebody's going to have to wash that. We'll find out. So pair of veterans, pair of 5s find their way here in heat number 2. So here we go. I believe the Taylors were in action last week. Port Royal, the big half mile. Of course, each and every mod event here, they're always here at the Big E. Here we go, getting ready to come back to the green flag. Heat number 2, we're back racing.
Back underway. Good start from Jonathan Taylor on the inside. He'll drive it in, try to slide it up across the nose of the Jedi, and he will do just that, holding on to the lead. Again, stacking them up a little bit back around that transfer spot. Everyone keeps it headed in the right direction. Side by side for 5th with Evan Taylor going to the inside. That's Orr, Scott Orr on the outside in car 88.
Just some wild action about 3rd on back in this one. Orr's going to kiss the concrete. He'll get out of the gas. That'll cost him at least, well, I was going to say cost him 2 spots, but he gets the big run down the back straight. Meanwhile, Bowersack now coming back to your leader. Good action here. Heat of the night.
That is the battle for the lead. Jonathan Taylor holds on to it for now. We talked about Scott Orr slipping up. That cost him a transfer spot. So move Evan Taylor into that final transfer spot. Meanwhile, there you see it on your screen. Kaz is in 4th right now. Evan Taylor trying to get some breathing room on that final transfer spot. Trying to put him in, and here comes another driver on the bottoms making a slider. That's Kinney in the 4 machine. Again, missed the battle for the 5th and final transfer.
Kinney catfishing, trying to get it into the show. Meanwhile, Jonathan Taylor showing the way. Jedi continues to throw big sliders at him in 3 and 4. Can't quite get him cleared this time. Josh White, flag 1 to go.
And Evan Taylor just slipped up. You saw it on your screen at FloRacing. Went from 4th back to 6th. He would now be the odd man out for making it into the transfer. So we'll keep our eye on that as it's still Jonathan Taylor up front. And here he comes, slider for the lead, for the win. Jonathan Taylor holds on to heat race number 2. Bowersock 2nd. Now we go back to the transfer spot, and Kaz will grab the final transfer as Kinney jumps up to 4th. What a heat race.
Oh, baby.
Eldora Speedway, what'd you think about that heat? These drivers put on a show, battling for the final transfer spot. Jonathan Taylor and the Jedi Jerry Bowersock battling for the win. At the end of the day, it goes to Jonathan Taylor, Jerry Bowersock 2nd. How about Tyler Spalding in 3rd? Jason Kinney, Jeff Kaz moving on. But there's some good drivers here, Rob, that will have to work their way in through the B main.
Scotty Orr 6th, Evan Taylor 7th, Tristan Chamberlain 8th, Jason Holland 9th, Brandon Berry, Josh Morton, Adam Coley, Tony Anderson. He goes across the scales. It'll be official. The driver picking up the heat race win. The number 5 out of Salzburg, Pennsylvania, the Willys Carburetor and Dyno Shop Mullins Racing Engine. Close Racing Supply. How about it? The number 5. Give him a round of applause. It's Jonathan Taylor.